playoffs.
Down the middle of the lane, takes it right to the rim and flushes.
KTFM Floresville. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys have fired defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus after one season. Cowboys defense gave up over 30 points per game, the most in the NFL. Finished 30th in yards allowed per game, ranked 30th in turnovers created, and 27th in sacks. Cowboys will start the season with their fourth different DC in as many seasons. Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones released a statement saying, quote, "After reviewing and discussing the results, we needed a change."
Joe Reinagel.
And the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And you can say, ding dong, the witch is dead. Matt Eberflus is gone from Dallas.
You think I'm an idiot?
Eberflus.
Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. Welcome to the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Glad you could stop by. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix, and it's good news today, Minix.
It sucks that we celebrate somebody getting fired. it does. But Jerry Jones made the right decision. And this was a difficult decision for Jerry. His statement, having known Matt Eberflus for decades now, we have tremendous respect and appreciation for him as a coach and a person. But after reviewing and discussing the results of our defensive performance this season, though, it was clear that change is needed. Yeah, and again, we all knew that conclusion, I don't know, in October. Certainly by Thanksgiving.
Eberflus.
Although Jerry on this recent PR spin really made me wonder. And the fact that he did it quickly. It's Tuesday, and it was done this morning. I mean, congratulations to the Morning Huddle. Those boys had some breaking news.
Wow.
That never happens to Rob and AJ.
Well, it doesn't. And look, I don't know, from the things that I read when I first saw the news, I think Shotty had a lot to do with this.
Yeah.
And I think it was a lot on him. And obviously Jerry's got to do the firing, but I think Schottenheimer had a lot to say about this and a lot to do with it. And he needed to change and ready because, look, I mean, the more you read about Matt Eberflus, the more the players really didn't like the guy.
Well, yes, and he wasn't a flexible flus, if you know what I mean. He didn't seemingly want anybody else's ideas. The body's not even cold yet, and you're not hearing a whole lot of nice things.
No.
So maybe it was a bad mix, and sometimes, and granted, you're seeing all kinds of guys that got fired on Monday getting interviews already. Sometimes you need maybe a little bit of time away as opposed to, I don't know, I was a head coach, I got fired, and I got to prove everybody that I'm still a good coach. I don't know. It didn't work. It wasn't a hire that was overly celebrated, although we didn't completely poo-poo it because before he was the head coach of the Bears, he was a hell of a defensive coordinator. But this was a disaster, and it has something to do with Micah, but not everything. And at some point, you got to make an adjustment. At some point, you can't have your defense allow 30 points a game and give up the most points in franchise history. You're not getting a raise after that. You're getting fired, and Jerry did. The fact that Jerry did it today, I mean, early this morning. I mean, early.
I was surprised you waited that long.
Well, either you do it on Black Monday. You could be like Atlanta. I'm not waiting until tomorrow. You're fired, right? And you could tell that Arthur Blank made that decision a long time ago because Atlanta won a bunch of games after they were eliminated.
Yeah.
They were playing their best football after
Sure.
it didn't matter.
That's it.
But the owner had already made up his mind. The fact that Jerry didn't, immediately made me wonder, was he really considering bringing him back because he loves the continuity? But he also didn't drag it out. He didn't wait till the weekend to steal headlines, which is Jerry's MO. A lot of times it feels that way. So is somebody available today that maybe Jerry wasn't thinking was available that they need to go after fast if that's the guy that they are targeting?
Well, I mean, there's several people out there. Yeah,
Yep.
I think there are. And if they need to make a hire soon.
Yep.
I really believe that because there's a lot of job openings. I mean,
Yep.
the Commanders just cleaned house with both their DC and OC. Cliff Kingsbury no longer with the Washington Command Skins.
Not a candidate for the Cowboys defensive coordinator job.
No, he's not. But and the
Joe Witt.
Joe Witt's probably not either.
Which
but.
some people thought could be the Cowboys DC when Dan Quinn left. He's been Dan Quinn's right-hand man for a long time. And for continuity, there was talk, could he get elevated up? A lot like what you heard with an Al Harris type, and that didn't happen. And first time the guy calls plays, Dan Quinn took those play-calling duties away from him, a month ago.
Yeah,
so that's not a surprise.
Not a surprise. But, look, Brian Flores is going to be the hot name. But I think Brian Flores wants to be a head coach. He's made that pretty clear over the last couple of years. I'm already seeing rumors where he could be paired with a Brian Daboll with the Las Vegas Raiders. As Flores as a head coach and Daboll as the offensive coordinator, and I think that'd be quite the duo.
Does Tom Brady want that?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, he has to want it because he's the guy making the call.
I mean, because you look at Cliff becoming available is interesting with the head coaching jobs that are available. He's got 1 year left on his money coming from Arizona.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He and Dan Quinn apparently got a little sideways. I don't know how you penalize an offensive coordinator when your starting quarterback, a guy that you took to the NFC Championship game in his rookie year, is hurt most of the year. But Dan Quinn wants to run the ball, and Cliff doesn't even like the huddle. So but also Cliff is likely to be in the mix for some of these head coaching jobs.
I've seen the Raiders mentioned Cliff's name as well.
Well, and again, you look at a guy like Fernando Mendoza.
Uh-huh.
You already have an Ashton Genty.
That's an attractive job.
Cliff in Vegas?
Yeah.
I mean.
Look out, ladies.
I mean, they're, but my goodness, you got to work with Davis.
Well, that's true.
I mean, he fires everybody after 2 years. I mean, you think about some of these colleges that are paying a whole lot of coaches not to coach. Go look at the Raiders. I mean, from when John Gruden was the coach, would you have Josh McDaniels for 2 years, Antonio Pierce for 2 years, Pete Carroll for 17 weeks, and was somebody else mixed in there? I don't know. It just feels like that's the revolving door.
I don't think Pete Carroll was a long-term answer anyway. He was kind of a bridge, and they just pooped the bed, and maybe it's time for Carroll to go to TV or go do something else. I'm not sure, but they've got some pieces there, and I don't think it's going to take that long to rebuild that team if you get the right coaching staff in there, and obviously get lucky with some of your draft picks and things that you do in the offseason. I think the Raiders will be an up-and-coming team over the next couple of years if Mendoza turns out to be as good a pro as he is at Indiana. It's going to be interesting to see, but you got all kinds of stuff floating around. Stefanski, the guy that got fired in Cleveland yesterday, is the hottest prospect there is in the NFL right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, quarterback guru type. Did win Coach of the Year twice.
He did.
Had the sacks leader.
Hello.
His phone's just, I mean, you mention his name and you're getting a dial tone. Everybody's trying to talk to that guy. Everybody, including James Pledger. I mean, it's all over the place. Crazy. So it went Gruden, Rich, Bisaccia, McDaniels, Pierce, and Carroll. Whew. And they're all still getting paid.
Yeah, they are. Well, look, Cliff's going to end up somewhere. He's too good a coach, too good of an offensive coach. If he's not a head coach, somebody's going to hire him as an OC, I would imagine.
Yep.
But I think he'll be a head coach somewhere. And what is there now, 6, 7 openings in the NFL?
6.
6 openings. I mean, that's crazy.
6 openings for head coaching jobs. Coordinator jobs, still, there are a ton of those. And more to come. I mean, the Eagles are in the playoffs, but there's a lot of talk about their offensive coordinator as soon as this is over, gone. Kansas City may or may not have some openings at the coordinator position. So it is interesting to see. And then, of course, some of the Jonathan Gannon, fired head coach.
Yep.
Could he end up somewhere as a defense coordinator? I still like Brandon Staley as a potential. I don't know. Where is that dude now? I know he got fired from the Chargers as head coach. He's somewhere, but he's one of those defensive whiz kids that, there's just potential. And I'm sure there are some names out there that most fans in media aren't familiar with, but the inner workings of the NFL world know that this linebacker coach or this secondary coach or special teams guy that could be on their way up is certainly a potential.
Look, Schottenheimer's been with just about every team in the league, hasn't he? He's made a lot of connections.
Yep.
I'm sure he's got somebody in mind that he would like to work with, and I hope Jerry gives him that opportunity because I don't think Matt Eberflus, Schottenheimer had nothing to do with Eberflus. I just don't believe that he did. I think that was all a Jerry hire, and I hope that he allows Schottenheimer to have 90% of the input on who he wants to be his defensive coordinator. Because I'm sure that Brian Schottenheimer doesn't want to go over to the defensive side of the building all the time and check in on what's going there. He wants to concentrate on what's happening on the offensive side and hire somebody that's competent enough to make sure that there's a defense going on and he doesn't have to worry about it.
The way it is set up right now, and I know we'll get into it, Jerry at one point wanted a walk-around head coach. Now he's back to you take care of the offense and you take care of the defense. So you can hire a defensive coordinator that can basically just handle that side of the building. You might not even see the guy. Hey, just email your plan. Is it good? All right,
sure.
Cool. I'm in. And I know it's not that simple, but a Raheem Morris.
That'd be outstanding.
Jeff Ulbrich was his defensive coordinator. Not expected to be fired, but he was because all the Atlanta staff got fired. Jeff Ulbrich was in New York with the Jets with Robert Saleh, was the interim head coach when Robert Saleh got fired. I don't know, that Williams guy that the Cowboys picked up seems to love the guy.
Yeah.
Could that be a potential?
It could be.
You're checking it all there. All right, real quick, I just saw Alexandra on our YouTube page says that she dropped off some Aggie shirts to Iris at the front desk. I haven't seen them. Oh, Pledge has them.
Oh.
All right, Pledge, what do you have? Oh, you got a little Micah Parsons jersey.
Micah Parsons jersey. Nice.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Let's see, what else do you have, Pledge?
Oh, sweet. Is that a little sequin outfit there?
Yeah, you definitely have to wear that sparkly A&M. In fact, you need to bring that over here, sir. Come on to this side of the building. James Pledger in his payoff for failing miserably at the 72-ounce steak challenge. Now, today he is sort of doing what he is supposed to do as far as the challenge goes. Because he is wearing a jersey today, but it is, if you recall, Pledge, head to toe, being cowboy geared up. And this Roger jersey is a classic, although you can't even tell that this is a Cowboys jersey, right?
You really can't move your hoodie there.
And he's got Staubach on the back covered up. So I don't know if this counts. Now, show that sparkly A&M jersey off. I don't know if you can see on the YouTube the great sparkles on there, but
I think he needs to wear that at some point.
Yeah, that's got to be
just
one.
Don't ruin that thing. Alexandra's probably
You've got a
pretty proud
Micah
of that.
Parsons jersey that you could wear now.
Yeah.
Because I know you, and the head to toe, here's a Cowboys hat for you to wear from our friends over at Jim Beam.
Yes.
So you've got to wear that because head to toe. Can't just be the hat that you were wearing yesterday. So you've got to wear that Cowboys hat. But I've got some stuff for you too. In the spirit of Alexander, my wife was listening, and so she went into my daughter's closet because you guys are similar size. You could wear this cowboy shirt one day.
That's nice.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
No sequins, but definitely girlish.
Yeah.
You could wear that. I do have, because you got cold, nice little half zip.
Yeah.
You could pull that off.
Uh-huh.
I also have a couple of jerseys.
I need the story about how the hell Jason Minix, diehard Longhorn fan, has a Johnny Manziel jersey.
I have a.
How the hell does that happen?
What are you doing down there, Pledge? Oh. I have a Johnny Manziel A&M jersey.
How does that happen?
I have no idea. To be honest with you, I must have been doing some sort of event or so. I don't know. I have no idea. It's not autographed. That was the first thing I checked. I've got a couple of things autographed by Johnny, and I know I did a football game with him one time. Clemens against Tivy.
Okay.
And he was going to come up to do the halftime interview, and he stayed and did color the entire second half.
Nice.
But I didn't have a jersey then. I have no idea how I got that. I have no idea, but I found that in the closet. Or I got a game-worn Patrick Creighton jersey that can kind of fit you. Because every other jersey would just look too much like a dress on you. And again, just don't drop anything.
Wow.
In that jersey.
Yes, because Patrick did.
Twice. When we call for some sound, don't alligator arm anything. All right, so that's your wardrobe for the next week. You have to wear each and every one of those items, including what Alexander brought you.
Absolutely, and I think that is that's got to be something.
Shout out to Cowboy James for the Staubach jersey. He dropped it off last night.
Oh, that was from Cowboy James? That is awesome.
Very nice.
So next Monday, you do have to wear something Cowboys to the Rue Pub to watch your Texans in their playoff game, and that hat that you're currently wearing.
Oh, that wasn't part of the agreement. The agreement was I got to wear 2 days Cowboys, 2 days A&M, and 1 day Titans.
Okay.
All right, well, Titans is coming. I forgot the jersey today, but
I'm just saying, there was no specified days on which I had to wear them.
Well, we're specifying now. We're changing the rule because you failed yesterday to uphold your instead.
I did
because
not.
again,
I remember, but I put the hat on. You didn't even remember.
The hat doesn't count.
I need to know because, look, we're going to be out at Bubba's 33 at Alamo Ranch on Friday with our friends from Flight by Yingling.
Yeah.
I think the sparkly A&M jersey should be worn on Friday.
All right.
I think because Pledge will be on our YouTube.
Camera?
You'll be more on camera then.
Yeah.
So that's my vote.
All right.
there.
So you got to wear Aggies on Friday and Cowboys on Monday.
And I'll bring the.
And what's today? Tuesday.
I'll bring the Eddie George for Wednesday or Thursday, whatever he wants.
Yep. Is it Eddie George?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not giving him the VY.
Okay.
We're going to do Eddie George.
You're going Eddie George.
That's an oldie but a goodie.
And it clearly Oiler Eddie George.
And no, this is Tennessee Titan Eddie George. So
I'm just saying he started his career in Houston as an Oiler.
Well, he did. But he also played with the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one reason why, and people ask me why I'm a Titans fan. That's why. Because most of those guys that were Oilers just moved over and became Titans. It was the same guys, just different uniform.
Yeah, different uniform. We root for laundry.
We
root for laundry.
I root for those guys. Eddie George, man, I was a big fan of his.
Everybody was until he started wearing a different color shirt. And you know how much that they care about those shirts because Warren Moon was like, yeah, sure, Cam Ward, you want that number 1? I never wore it. Go ahead.
Not my number.
Not mine.
All right, so I know the sparkly A&M jersey on Friday.
Yep, and anything Cowboys for Monday because you're going to watch it at the Rue Pub wearing Cowboys gear watching your Texans play. Again, if you would have finished the steak, none of this would be there. And if you would have showed up yesterday, you wouldn't have to carry over a day. And remember,
if show up Monday.
You found a random hat that Rob had left in the office. That doesn't count head to toe, which is why you've got to wear the hat as well.
Well, I don't have a Titans hat.
I don't have an Aggie hat.
You've got Rob's. I don't care if you're wearing a Titans jersey and an Aggie hat, a Titans jersey and a Cowboy hat.
Okay.
It's just head to toe.
That's a good-looking hat you got on there.
That is.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
No
Good
doubt.
friends from Jim Beam sent those when we were at Cowboys training camp.
Yeah. And they sent some good stuff, too.
Yeah, you don't get the good stuff. You just get the hat, which is a good hat, but it doesn't have any of the
I need what the hat came with.
The liquid refreshments.
Yeah, I don't think there's any of that left anywhere.
No.
I don't think so either. Obviously,
some things don't travel back from a trip.
Big news, obviously, today for the Dallas Cowboys. Matt Eberflus has been fired. Cowboys are looking for a defensive coordinator. If you want to comment on that on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, you can do that. Please like and subscribe there. You can get a hold of Jason on Twitter at Jason Minix. I'm at Joe Reinigle 210. Or if you want to call in and comment and celebrate or cry, whatever you want to do, 210-656 ESPN, 656-3776. You can do that. We're talking about that. We'll tell you what Jerry had to say about it as well. And Quentin Williams seems happy about it also. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Spurs playing tonight on the road against Memphis. You want to make that game a lot more exciting. Make sure you're playing along on Underdog, the best place to get in on all the action, make your picks, and win money right now in Texas. And it's easy to do. Pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on various stats. I'm looking at my Underdog app for tonight's game. Julian Champagny, 2.5 3-pointers made. Would you go higher? Would you go lower on that? Then you start looking at some of the other players. I'm looking at Wemby and 20.5 points. I don't even know if Wemby's going to play tonight. Let me go to De'Aaron Fox at 21.5. He's going to be the high volume guy. I'd go higher there. Steph Castle, 7.5 assists. Would you go higher or lower? Build out your pick and entry. Get them all right. You could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the Underdog app today. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Over 3 million Texans struggle with diabetes. They're our neighbors, teachers, doctors and nurses, police officers, and often our family members. Across every walk of life, Texans may be fighting a serious health battle, but there's hope for a cure. Right now, when you make a donation to HelpStopDiabetes.com, Thomas J. Henry will generously match your donation, with all proceeds supporting the American Diabetes Association. Because when we take care of each other, we take care of Texas. Please, make your donation today. Visit HelpStopDiabetes.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-290-7100. 800-290-7100. 800-290-7100.
It's a new year, and Aleve is here to help you keep your New Year's resolutions on track. Whether it's a daily walk, hitting the gym, or spending more time with friends and family, Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, Aleve keeps you moving with long-lasting body pain relief so you can chase those dreams and achieve your goals. Don't let body pain slow you down. Keep going with Aleve, because this year is your year. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Okay, so your trophy's in the cabinet. Business is great. The growing pains are all in the past, and you're feeling optimistic. Now you're in big trouble. Because truth is, no matter how well you slayed your last quarter, the next one could slay you right back. And without a cohesive strategy and a scalable idea you can rely on, nothing is certain except uncertainty. Which is why for your next rodeo, you need the Next Rodeo. The Next Rodeo is a true creative partner that brings next-level creative thinking and production quality to companies who didn't believe they could afford it. So you can keep your company growing without outgrowing the dream that started it. The Next Rodeo. The difference between the business you have and the business you want is one great scalable idea. Get the full story at thenextrodeo.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a hump day on the Morning Huddle. How did the Spurs look in Memphis? How will they look against the Lakers?
Eberflus is gone. Where's the defensive coordinator coming from? Lots of candidates. We'll go down them all. We're talking Cowboys and college football. Oh, yeah, and the Spurs. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Jerry Jones, Executive of the Year, doing things right, firing his defensive coordinator early, so he can get that out of the way, get somebody in there that can have some success with the draft coming up in April. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason.
So many different names already being thrown out. We have no idea, right? I mean, well, we have an idea. We can guess at names, who's available, who's not, who's got connections. What we do know is this is going to be the 4th year that the Cowboys will start a season with a new defensive coordinator. And while Jerry loves to talk about continuity, he knew this was the right call. And I give the man credit for firing Flus today, because Jerry is also admitting he made a huge mistake in hiring him.
Yes.
Just like he did the year before with Zimmer. That was a mistake. He recognized it. He rectified it. Eberflus is the same thing. I don't know that you're going to get that kind of candidate again, because if Brian Schottenheimer had a heavy influence in departing from Eberflus, my guess is he'll have an influence in who the next guy is. But it's just a step in a massive defensive overhaul. You've got 5-6 guys on the defense that are going to be restricted free agents. Now, a guy like a Jadeveon Clowney, seems like the Cowboys would want him back. Seems like he wants to come back. But did he get himself too expensive with the way he played?
I don't. That's a good question. But I think with he had a good year, but he hasn't had a lot of good years over his career for a number of reasons, obviously. And he's getting too long in the tooth to command a huge salary. That could be something that the Cowboys bring back for maybe another year, maybe a year with an option, something like that. I wouldn't want to pay this guy a lot of money, though.
Now, some of these are going to be, well, who do they end up hiring, and who does he want to bring in? Which, again, I look at Zimmer. Oh, well, we got to go get Eric Kendricks because he's the guy.
Yeah.
Eberflus. Well, you got to go get Kenneth Murray because that's his guy. That was a disaster, right? But Jadeveon Clowney at the top of the list of defensive free agents that you would certainly want to see back. Sam Williams is a unrestricted free agent. So is Dante Fowler. Now, Fowler was hurt so much this year, I don't know what to make of his season. And he said yesterday in his exit interviews, he's got plenty left in the tank, and yeah, it was just a weird year, awful for him, because of injuries and the way everything was going. He was good when he was with Dallas, went to Washington, came back. I don't know if he's in the future plans. Donovan Wilson is somebody that I would think that the Cowboys would want to look at bringing back. Kenneth Murray is also on the list. And no,
adios.
See you, man. Here's your trash bag with all your stuff in it. Get the hell out. Your key card does not work.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. It will be an overhaul in the defense, and that's why I hope. Now, with some of the names mentioned, some of these guys may want to wait and see if they get head coaching offers or opportunities, and that could be a problem and maybe push the hiring back a little bit when it comes to the Cowboys. But I hope they get somebody in there quickly so they can get a plan in place and figure out how they want to do it and what they can do. And is there a free agent or two that they might want to go after? Who's in the draft that they may want to target? And all of that needs to be done with the defensive coordinator in place and ready to go.
And they'll make a hire fairly quick, I would imagine. And then you go and you start the evaluating process. And it's hard because we sit here and you're talking about go spend money in free agency. That's something that Jerry Jones doesn't do. What was the last big free agent he signed? Like big money defensive free agent? Brandon Carr?
Yep.
And what was that, 19 what? No, it wasn't that long ago, but it feels that long ago. I know they brought in some other guys, but generally speaking, Jerry goes and gets a lot of guys on one-year prove-it kind of deals.
He does.
He did that a lot this past year, and those guys failed to prove it. So I try not to get too worked up on what free agents are out there because that's not Jerry's MO. It just isn't. However, they've got 2 first-round picks this year. 2. They don't have a second and a third-round pick because of the trades that they made for Pickens and for Quinnen Williams. And you could say Quinnen Williams, you know, they made that move, helped this year to a degree, but that's a next-year move. So you could look at it that way, and Quinnen Williams seems overly excited about what's about to happen in Dallas. For whatever reason, he's overly excited. About at least that's what he's putting on social media.
Well, and I think the Cowboys should be. Look, with that defensive line that they've got in place, Kenny Clark, he's not an unrestricted free agent. He's got another year left, I believe.
But I don't think he has guaranteed money, or there's something they can get out of it pretty easy.
So, but still, if you decide to keep him, you've got Quinnen Williams. I think those guys in the middle are good. You find an edge rusher, and certainly the priorities for me are linebacker and defensive backfield. I mean, those have got to be the priorities. Unless you think Revel is going to play better than he did this year, albeit I'll give him a little bit of a break. He didn't have a lot of opportunity this year to play. He'll get that opportunity next year, I would imagine, with Trayvon Diggs gone. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do in those 2 positions because, to me, those are the biggest needs for that defense.
What comes first, the chicken or the egg? They didn't have a pass rusher this year. They traded him to Green Bay. And with the lack of a big-time pass rush, that secondary got picked apart. There are times when you're getting the pass rush, those guys can cover for 3 seconds, not 7, and you get there. I mean, they couldn't even sack the Chargers quarterback, Justin Herbert, who got sacked more than anybody, and their offensive line was awful. When they did get home, it was a big deal because it was a surprise. Man, the Cowboys got a sack.
Yeah.
But so it's odd that you go, okay, priorities fixing the secondary. But if you had a pass rusher, now you don't have to have a pass rusher named Micah Parsons making $45 million a year, but they've got to go find somebody that can get to the quarterback on a consistent basis.
Well, I mean, you've got some guys. What's Sam Williams? He's a guy that's supposed to be a pass rusher, is he not? When is he going to step up? When is it his turn?
And you want it because he's a free agent.
I'm just saying.
And so his turn might not be in Dallas.
It may not be.
I mean, how do they evaluate him? Because he had opportunity this year because somebody got traded to Green Bay. And, and you go back to when we were talking to him in Oxnard.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was rooting for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
There were moments, but not enough of them. And it's the consistency. You would say that of all the Cowboys defenders, Jadeveon Clowney might have been the most consistent. And he wasn't even there to start training camp. And then you look at Kenny Clark, the way he played, Quinnen Williams, when he got there, the way he played. Sam Williams is down on the list. I mean, there's probably some people out there going, what number is that guy? Who is this Sam Williams you're talking about?
That could be very true. Azaraku's another guy that is supposed to be that guy or turn into that guy. And I think all of those names that were thrown out were reasons or made them a little more comfortable that at least they would have something there, but it just didn't work out. So what do they do? I think, look, there's some pass rushers in the draft. And where the Cowboys are, or if they want to move up or down, depending on how they want to do it, there are a couple of pretty good pass rushers that are coming out of college and into the draft. Do you go that route and try to develop the next Micah Parsons?
I mean, without the second and third round picks, not that they can't make some moves to get some picks in those rounds, but new defensive coordinator, not to tell you how to do your job or your agent, try to work into your contract that those 2 picks go to defensive players.
Yes, please.
They got all the shiny objects they need on the offensive side. That of course, I mean, at number 12, is there a fancy wide receiver there if you decide not to bring back Pickens? Is there an offensive lineman there that is going to be better than a Tyler Guyton? And that's part of the problem with the Jerry Jones is while it feels like, you got to fix the defense. He even said today this is the first step in the process of fixing the defense, firing Eberflus. You got a bunch of free agents. You need to spend the resources on the defensive side. The offense was incredible this year, statistically. There were some games that's not true, but as a whole, that offense
played well.
Damn good.
Yeah.
Where are your priorities? Are you going to?
It's got to be defense. It has to be.
But it's Jerry.
I get it.
It's Jerry.
But it has to be.
I mean, nobody's ever bought a ticket to go see a defensive tackle play.
Well, I tell you what, I think Cowboy fans would. After seeing the debacle they've had the last 2 years on defense, I think it's time. And I think Cowboy fan would stand up and cheer if there were a couple of defensive players selected.
And I say that knowing damn well that the Cowboys in recent years have taken offensive linemen in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody buys a jersey for Tyler Booker.
Well, that is absolutely true.
I mean, so even the narrative around Jerry that it's all about jersey sales and ticket sales is total BS, and he's proven that in the draft the last couple of years. But 2 years without the playoffs. They got to do something.
Yeah, it's got to be defense. It has to be defense, especially if you find a way to keep George Pickens. And if they want to keep George Pickens, they can because they can franchise tag him. So you have no issues on offense. You can go find a running back. That's not a problem if they decide not to bring Javonte Williams back. It's that defensive side of the football they've got to improve. You cannot win games if you're 30th in the league in two different categories defensively. I don't care how good your offense is. You're not going to win football games. That's where they've got to improve, and they need to do it as quick as they possibly can. Speaking of offense, the Washington Commanders have no offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. Both of those guys, Cliff Kingsbury and Joe Witt Jr., are out in D.C. What happens with Cliff? He was a head coach at Arizona, got fired there, then went to work for Dan Quinn. We'll talk about it when we continue right here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. You know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747. Or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. Up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
America's best high school football players are coming to San Antonio. It's the Navy All-American Bowl at the Alamo Dome on Saturday, January 11th. Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, and Jeremiah Smith played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the stars of tomorrow at the Navy All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero. Fan Zone opens at 9:30 a.m. Tickets on sale at the Dome box office and Ticketmaster.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
You know these ear things, Minix, they have an L and an R on them, and they're very difficult to see. And if you don't put them in the right ear, it's uncomfortable as hell. And so every time, I hear Pledge playing the intro music, and I'm getting ready to go, and I got to look at that thing, and I'm like, I don't know. And if you don't see it, then you put it in the wrong ear, and you feel goofy as hell, and you're trying to all kinds of stuff, and it's just weird. Hi, everybody. Thanks for stopping by.
There's so many jokes that I could make there. Remember in I don't know about you, but I basically learned how to tell my left from my right in Little League football. You would break the huddle, and then I was a wide receiver, and you'd look, and this part of your hand spelled L. That's how you knew to go to that side, right?
Wow, I've never heard that before.
That's how I learned. All right, that's the left hand. It's an L, right?
That's why Joe was always in the wrong position at receiver.
Exactly. You're a tight end in the wishbone. Just go stand over there, kid. It doesn't matter.
Because the right hand does not spell R. That seems like a flaw to me.
Well, if one spells left, you know that's the right one.
I don't know that. Now, they both spell L. One's a backwards L.
I mean.
You're a dumb butt.
I'm just saying, these don't have L's, except they're little bitty letters, and I'm looking at them. If you're watching on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, you got to look at this thing and get the light just right.
Because otherwise it's in your ear and uncomfortable because it's the wrong one.
It's the wrong ear, so it doesn't fit that ear canal the way it's supposed to and the way it was designed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, what you could do, and again, I mean, this is high-level engineering kind of stuff. Like, you might need to go to MIT to figure this out.
Perhaps.
But why don't you take a red Sharpie and color the right one red?
Well, because it's a black ear thing.
All right. So
I don't think that
put a red piece of tape on it. R, red tape.
Or so just red tape, and I know that's right.
Yes.
Red for right.
Exactly.
Okay. Maybe I'll do. You got any red tape, Pledge? I'm just saying, it's kind of frustrating. Some of you pick up your headphones, you're trying to put them in real quick, and wrong ear.
Well, let's try a big long one here.
That's black, Pledge. It's not red. Just saying.
Huh?
He showed me a roll of tape, and it was black.
Well, no, that wouldn't do him any good.
No.
Will you find Halen the engineer so he can teach Ryan Engel right from left?
It's going to be okay.
We don't have that much time.
Exactly. Well, we got, 3.5 hours left.
Good Lord.
Or so. Oh, my goodness. Black Monday was yesterday.
Yep.
A lot of blood on the wall yesterday in the NFL with head coaches. Today, you've got assistant coaches being let go or fired, whatever the case may be. In the case of the Commanders, sounds like Cliff Kingsbury and Joe Witt Jr., it was kind of a mutual decision to let them go.
When I look at now, you're reading all kinds of stuff in today. You know, Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury butted heads on a lot of things. Cliff doesn't like the huddle and didn't run the ball enough. Now, the knock on Cliff at the NFL level is he was running a college offense in the NFL. Now, keep in mind, successful at Tech until he wasn't. Then he had a job at USC. Before he unpacked his office there at USC, he got a call from Arizona. Hey, come be our head coach. We're drafting Kyler Murray. You're going to coach him up. So he goes immediately to the NFL. He's running that system that fit Kyler Murray. And that, all right, ultimately doesn't work. Now he goes to Washington. He works with Jaden Daniels. Rookie year, they make it to the NFC Championship game. This year, Jaden Daniels gets hurt. So you could say, I mean, there were years that Arizona was successful under Cliff and years that they weren't. Coaches get fired. You know, you have your good and your bad, especially when you're working for an organization that is known to be crap. And that's what he had at Arizona. And it feels like offensive coaches. Let's go back to Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore. He wasn't running the ball enough. He wasn't helping the defense enough. Joe Witt Jr. has been Dan Quinn's guys from their Atlanta days. But he never called plays. This year, Joe Witt Jr. got a chance to call plays, call the defense. Dan Quinn took those away in the middle of the year. Now, some of that is, I feel like I can do it better than you. But you kind of knew he was going to get fired. It was Dan Campbell with Detroit.
Yep.
You know, I don't have Ben Johnson anymore. I'm not liking what you're doing. I'm going to call plays. You're the head coach. You have the right to do that.
Well, you absolutely do, but that doesn't instill a lot of confidence in the guy you just took the play-calling duties away from.
Sure.
Whether it's offense or defense. So, I mean, you kind of, I think the writing's on the wall, which doesn't mean that I'm not sure that you would want to go out and hire a Joe Witt Jr. as your defensive coordinator in that respect. So, I don't know. Look, there's going to be a lot of candidates for this thing, but I think a lot of the candidates, at least that we've seen listed today, are going to be up for head coaching jobs as well. Again, Brian Flores is going to be the topic. He's the top of the list for everybody because he's a hell of a defensive coordinator. I'm not sure what kind of head coach he's going to make, but I think he needs to get his opportunity, and I think he just might get that opportunity this year. So I think if Jerry's waiting, unless Jerry wants to open up a Briggs truck to Brian Flores' house, I don't think Flores is going to be interested.
One, I don't think Brian Flores is the right guy in Dallas to begin with. But he is currently unemployed. His contract with the Vikings expired. So they don't have to wait. There's no compensation. There's none of that. They could talk to him today if they wanted. You just said Jerry and Brinks truck. Jerry is not known for overpaying coaches. And I do think, kind of like with Eberflus, kind of like with Zimmer, that Jerry likes a coordinator in a situation like this that is still getting head coach money from somebody else, so they're not quite as expensive, right?
True.
And so does Raheem Morris potentially kind of fit that bill? I just don't see Jerry spending a lot of money on a coordinator. And at the same time, I do wonder how much Brian Schottenheimer will have influence here. I mean, Jerry is known to hire coordinators before head coaches, or coordinators and then tell your head coach, hey, here's your new guy. I mean, go back to Jason Garrett and Wade Phillips and Lil Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy. I mean, Mike McCarthy for a couple of years had to fight to get Kellen out of there so he could call the plays. Got one chance to do that, then he's out. So it's like Brian Flores, probably the best, but is Jerry going to pay for that? And does he want to come to Dallas? What can Dallas do besides money to sweeten the pot? And the other part of it, if you're Brian Schottenheimer, do you want a guy that's been a head coach that everybody loves, that when things aren't going well, that guy could be the actual head coach one day, right? I mean, you've got to be a head coach that is pretty firm with your feet on the ground in that area, like Mike McCarthy was with Dan Quinn, because there were a lot of times we thought Dan Quinn, there was a point, right? Was Dan Quinn going to be the next head coach?
People were calling
right?
for Dan Quinn.
Right? So is Brian Schottenheimer that comfortable, right, in his skin and with his position on who he wants to bring into that building? If it's a coordinator that wants to be a head coach, most of them I think would. But if you've been the head coach and you just like coaching and you want to be a coordinator, maybe you kind of find that lane. You know, that old saying, some people are great coordinators and not great and not great head coaches, right? Is that what he's looking for? How much does that factor in the human element side of things with Brian Schottenheimer? That does he really want to bring somebody in that could ultimately be his replacement? Although this year, no complaints with Brian Schottenheimer as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, even though when he was hired, we were like, well, he had a great first year. But if his second year is a disaster, and that's 3 straight years with no playoffs, it's Schottenheimer that's going to be the one on his way out the door.
Well, that's absolutely true. Again, I think it's going to be a guy that nobody's ever heard of. We mentioned all these names. You can put, the Gannons and the Floreses and all of these guys, but I think it's going to be a guy that Schottenheimer has worked with before somewhere, and he's going to give that guy an opportunity to be the defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys, a guy that he feels comfortable with, working with, because I don't think he ever felt comfortable with Eberflus. I mean, Schotty's going to say all the right things. That's what they all do there at the Star, but I don't think they were ever comfortable together. And I think this hire has to be Schottenheimer's hire. And I would almost insist on it. And as weird as that sounds, I know, because it's Jerry Jones and Jerry likes to do things his own way. He's got to insist on it and say, look, I've got to work with this guy, and I want somebody that I'm comfortable with, that I have some faith in, that's going to get the job done, and then go from there. And hopefully Jerry and Steven will allow him to do that. You don't seem so sure.
Well, that all makes sense. And in the real world, that's how it should be done. But it's the Dallas Cowboys. And Jerry and Steven do business a different way. And there are sometimes status quo is, this is how everybody does it. This is the way it should be done. And then you get the Cowboys' way. But the Cowboys' results don't tell me that their way is working. So maybe they should do what you're saying, but also I have a hard time believing that Jerry at this point in his life is going to pay somebody that he doesn't know, pay somebody a lot of money, and let somebody else make a decision that, as many times as you've heard Jerry say, the reason he doesn't hire a general manager because ultimately the buck stops with him. It's funny. I saw a soundbite from Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, talking about how frustrated and pissed off he is, and ultimately it's my responsibility. But he said, I've got to hire guys to go do their job, but ultimately I'll make decisions and part ways with people when they're not doing it. And Jerry just says, yeah, well, if it's ultimately my responsibility, I'm going to make the decision. That's how Jerry does it. So what you're saying, I agree with, if we were talking about any organization but the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, and I get all of that. But look, I think Jerry, the fact that he fired Eberflus today.
Yeah.
Did it quickly. He's already said there's problems on the defense. We're going to fix it. This is the first step. Again, I'm going to go back to Jerry's age. And I'm going to say, look, he knows the defense sucked. If anybody, even if you don't know anything about football, you watch a Dallas Cowboys game, you see there's one big problem, and that's the defense. The offense was just fine. The defense sucks. And so you've got to fix that. Jerry's smart enough to know that. And I think at this point in time, Jerry knows he's got to put a defense on the field. And if that offense can perform the way that it did this year, and you've just got a defense that is, 30% better than what he had, 40% better, whatever, that can stop somebody at some point, then you might have an opportunity to make a run. But with what he's got now, and so that's why I say I think even Jerry Jones at this point in time will allow Brian Schottenheimer to have some say-so at least in the hire.
I think he'll be in the meeting. Probably get one of the interviews. And I'm with you. I want that to happen. I just have watched Jerry, and for years, I mean, from, I don't know, when he turned 75, he's only got so many seasons left. He's going to do something different. He's going to be all in. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to be, and it's been the opposite of that. And again, you can go back into his all-in comments. And from then, it feels like they've been in reverse through a school zone and selectively aggressive. And you think about he's gotten less aggressive as he's gotten older. He seems to be taking less risk, even though the whole documentary was about the risk taker that he is.
I don't think aggressive is the right word.
Yeah, and now if we were playing at a blackjack table, you'd get up and leave because the dude's doing it wrong.
It's exactly right. All I'm hearing, though, when you see an Adam Schefter or a Pelissaro, is that the Cowboys are seriously looking into Brian Flores.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen those all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Brian Flores wants to be a DC. I just don't.
I
he
agree.
wants to be a head coach, and I think he's going to get that opportunity. So I think he's off the table. And so who is it going to be, and who's Jerry comfortable with then?
Candy Lee.
Yeah, well, she would be great, but probably puts up a hell of a defense too, you know, especially when Jerry's around.
Stop it.
It's just going to be fascinating. Another offseason for the Dallas Cowboys, and it just never gets boring, man. It never does, and this year's going to be no exception. That is for sure. Oh, my goodness. Well, we got to take a break. We're up against it, but when we come back, a lot of weird stuff going on kind of outside the world of sports. We're going to go back to the state of Florida because, well,
our new favorite sheriff.
Our new favorite sheriff arrested a dude, and you're not going to believe this as we continue here on
Florida.
The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 410 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Joe, I've invented the perfect exercise machine. It's practical, efficient, and fits in any home. I give you the Row and Go. Ta-da! It's a rowing machine that connects to your toilet, so you can row and...
Stop. Folks at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC will help homes stay in tip-top shape. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899.
License number M16004, TACLA 141074E.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in San Antonio without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in San Antonio for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. San Antonio is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in San Antonio and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Meet Lee Platz, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This college football season, the Crunch Time Hero of the Week is brought to you by PorkRinds.com, the nation's premier hub for pork rind lovers everywhere. Each week, a college player will post on Instagram, and each share over a 2-week period equals a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, which helps families who are dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Giving back with the perfect snack to celebrate those big Crunch Time plays. Find your rind at PorkRinds.com or find Southern Recipe pork rinds at HEB.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs return to action tonight. They are in Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. Tip-off there set for 7 o'clock. Victor Wembanyama did travel with the team after being a full participant at practice yesterday. He's questionable for the game. Devin Vassell has been ruled out. He will not play tonight. And some big shakeups in the NFL again. Cliff Kingsbury out as the Washington Commanders offensive coordinator.
Sports Center brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday out there. Thanks so much for stopping by. Spend a little bit of time with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix. And, boy, I tell you what, it's a great week. Still, maybe one of my favorite weeks in the entire sporting year.
Really?
Certainly one of them. Absolutely.
Because it's the next one?
Well, no. We got the Final Four in college football coming up this week. We got the wild card round in the NFL playoffs.
Yep.
Plus, you got the Spurs tonight, Spurs tomorrow night.
Yeah. I'm with you.
It's a big week, buddy.
It's January.
It's a big week.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. I'm with you there. Sure.
The wild card round in the NFL, to me, is the best round of the playoffs because, number one, there's a lot of games. Number two, there is going to be a couple of upsets. I don't know where they're going to be just yet. Haven't looked at it that closely, but there will be, because there always is, a couple of upsets.
I'm with. I like every. It's like, did you watch any of the FCS national championship game last night?
I did not.
Dude, that game was drunk. That game was incredible. Now, I didn't watch the whole game, to be honest. I got caught up on Landman and put the game on. It was fourth quarter, and that's what you want in a championship game. That game had everything. I mean, that game was just silly. Illinois State chance to win the whole thing. Your national championship on the line, and field goal blocked. Then it goes to overtime. Illinois State scores first. Extra point blocked.
Wow.
And now it's like, all right, well, you got to get one stop. 4th and 16, Montana State. Illinois State brings the house, and dude just throws it up. Dude catches it and scores the touchdown. And
What a finish.
extra point was good. Incredible game.
You showed me the highlights of that.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. Didn't see it live, but
yeah, that was good
that's
football.
Cool. Very nice.
That was good stuff.
Kickers, they just
Kickers.
You had the Steelers game, and then this one, it was just bad weekend for kickers.
And a man that loves kickers more than anything in life, the great Indy Kalu, will join us in about 30 minutes from right now to talk about the Texans playoff game on Monday night.
Monday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers and the old man Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be an interesting game for sure.
Right now, let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
There's so many things to go today with Headline Blitz. It might be an extended segment. I'm not even sure where to start. You want to start with the sheriff in Florida or Snoop Dogg calling a basketball game?
Well, either way, did you see Steve Kerr last night?
Yeah.
The dude lost his mind.
He did, and Snoop Dogg was on the call on Peacock.
Oh, this is a great mismatch right here. Get the ball up and go down. Go down. Go down. They don't play the way I played in the 80s. You're supposed to go down and set up. Post up. Come on, big fella. You're 7 feet tall. Go on the paint.
Shot clock
Look
running
at this,
down.
man. This is what basketball has become.
Yes. Welcome.
Yep. Apparently hadn't watched basketball in a while.
Kawhi under control.
Oh, good hands. Good hands. They've been ripping them all day. Cookies and cream. They opened up a cookie shop on them. To the rack, Jimmy.
Wait, you got him. He's not going to be all right the rest of the night. You know that, right?
I don't know if I'm going to make it the rest of the Cookies and cream. Okay, I like it. Oh, Jimmy Butler now.
How many steals he got tonight?
I think he's up to 4.
Golden State looking for some kind of offense anywhere they can find it. Melton.
Oh, you too little.
Tough shot.
Small fries trying to run up on a Big Mac. Sit down somewhere. Oh, good pass. Good pass. He wet.
Have a night,
Atlantic
Kobe
Ocean.
Sanders.
He's wet. Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, look at Steve Kerr. He's all the way out here.
Uh-oh, Steve gonna get thrown out. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Back him up. Back him up, GP. Back him up. Steve ready to fire on him.
He's already gone.
Steve banging Inglewood right now. Inglewood. Get him, Steve. You in Inglewood, Steve. The Arizona Wildcat that came out and look at him.
I've got it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Steve Kerr, it just went you don't see that out of Steve Kerr very often.
No.
He went berserk last night.
With Snoop Dogg on the broadcast.
Yes.
Although that wasn't the most bizarre ejection in basketball last night. In the Michigan State game, Tom Izzo threw out a fan that used to be a player of his some 20 years ago.
Yes. We've got a whistle, and a fan has been pointed out in the crowd. I believe a fan was a little too aggressive, and somebody's getting asked to leave. Yeah. Jeffrey Anderson is over talking with Tom Izzo, and now Tom Izzo is looking at the fans saying, "What are you doing?" That must be an awkward feeling when you have one of the greatest coaches of all time in college basketball yelling at you from across the floor. You feel real small right now.
You could actually see, thanks for paying attention, Pledge, Tom Izzo mouthing, "What the F are you doing?"
Yeah.
The fan in question was Paul Davis.
Former player for Izzo at Michigan State.
And who comes back, does a lot with current players, does a lot with the university. And after the game, because obviously Tom Izzo was asked about it, and he was like, I'm going to have to make the call, and he's going to say, yep, I was 100% wrong. Would not say what Paul Davis said to the referee, but did say It wasn't anything racial or sexual. Now, what can you say that isn't racial or sexual that would get you thrown out of a game as a fan?
Yo mama is so fat. I don't know.
I mean, and for Tom Izzo to look across the court, what the F are you doing, man? And the motion, get out of here. And then he had to leave. But he was noted it wasn't racial or sexual.
Well, that's good. That's good. But it must have been bad enough that Izzo asked him, what the F are you doing? And get the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
So the official, it's weird because you see it on there. The official heard it. I don't know if he was screaming at the official. Maybe he said something about, you need glasses or I don't know, something. But it was the official, I think, that he was yelling at.
Definitely.
Maybe so. Now, Guillermo's got an idea on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Maybe he was saying, unplug it, baby.
Unplug it, baby.
I say, but wouldn't that fall in line with sexual?
Well, it could.
See, my first thought is maybe he told the referee.
Oh, you got to give him that huck, too, and spit on that thing.
Again, sexual.
But again, so, I mean, if it ain't racial and it ain't sexual, what gets you kicked out of a game?
I was glad to hear that's a good unplug it, baby, for the new year. Haven't heard that since last year.
Well, there's a guy in Florida that might say something similar.
Holy cow.
I'm not even going to tell you anything about this story. I'm just going to let Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd tell you the story because this sheriff down in Florida, he does these briefings on social media.
Needs his own show.
He's got one, and boy, did he tell a story about what happened down there in Polk County, Florida.
Now, occasionally, I bring you stuff that you just can't believe, that you'll never get over, that may even scar you for life. But I got to introduce you to this guy. He's not from Polk County, of course. I don't think we got anybody from Polk County quite like this guy. This is Matthew Zaccarino. He's 39. He's from Altamont Springs. And he's on this construction site in a vehicle by himself. And as our deputies approach him to see what's he doing on this construction site, we see this dude wearing a red lace bra with prosthetic silicone breastises. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, then we notice he's wearing a G-string, showing off the boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then our two deputies say to themselves, Self, this is highly unusual. But you don't realize how dangerous these situations are because under a prosthesis, we found a gun. So he was armed trespassing. He said he was on the way to the costume party. We go, okay, where's the costume party? Well, he couldn't answer that, and then he sold up on us and quit wanting to talk at all. Can you imagine that? He's mad at us for trying to find out why he's wearing lace bras with guns and G-strings or G-somethings or, ooh, it was ugly. It was so ugly. Anyway, he went to jail.
I bet he was a big hit in jail with that outfit on. And the boys showing.
I'm surprised that the sheriff didn't explain to us how they found a gun heading in the fake
wiener.
Prosthesis.
No, he didn't say anything about a fake wiener.
Well, what else could it be? He's got a lace bra on and
breasties.
And the
breasties.
gun was in the breast?
Yes.
Oh. What gun? It must have been big boobs. I mean, my goodness, how do you put a
small
gun? Or a small gun. Jeez. Is that a gun? Are you happy to see me? Holy cow.
Well, I mean, he couldn't hide the gun in his thong. It'd be exposed. Let's talk about open carry.
Well, you never know. I mean.
With prosthetic silicone breastises.
Oh, that sheriff is outstanding. The guy's outstanding. He's funny as hell.
Know what I mean?
It's
know what you mean? Yes.
It's Florida.
I know what you mean.
It is Florida.
Oh, my gosh.
So did you get a new cup for Christmas?
No, I've had this one. If you're watching on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, it's a nice St. Louis Cardinals there.
All right.
See, I like that because I have my nice reverse osmosis drinking station, and I can bring my own water to work since, they won't change the filters here.
Trust me, they need to. Their water's a little.
Is it right? I'm telling you.
I don't know.
Know what I mean?
It's still wet. The Cardinals minor league team is rebranded, and quite honestly, it's one good thing I could say that the Cardinals organization has done because I hate your baseball team.
Of course you do, because they own the Astros.
Well, I mean, at one point they did. Somewhere Brad Lidge is still looking for that ball over at Pujols' head.
Yeah.
But their new minor league baseball team down in Palm Beach, you know how like here we have the Flying Chanclas, the San Antonio Missions are? Well, the Palm Beach Cardinals.
Genius.
Alternate identity is the Frozen Iguanas.
Dude, one of the logos is great. They got an iguana upside down with a bat.
Yeah. Well, I like the one that's fallen from the tree because when we were in Miami for the Super Bowl, you weren't on that trip, right?
I was not, no.
It was Rob and I. It got cold for a couple of days, and we kept getting told that when it gets cold in Miami, when it's somewhere in the 30s, iguanas will fall out of the trees because they freeze and they fall. And it's true. We saw it happen once.
Really?
Well, we saw one that had fallen. We didn't actually see it fall, but it was just frozen on the ground. But when it warmed up, they'd get up and leave. Not dead. They said if you see one laying there, it's not dead. Leave it alone. And when it warms up, it'll be fine. They fall. So the Palm Beach Cardinals have come up with the Frozen Iguanas.
Genius.
It is, although quite rip-off of the old San Antonio hockey team, the San Antonio Iguanas.
Yeah.
You remember them?
I do, but they weren't frozen. Although
weren't.
they should have been.
I mean, on the ice.
Hockey
yes,
team.
hockey, yes.
That would have been good.
Yep.
Interesting stuff. Genius.
Yep,
Cardinals.
Yep.
Spurs play tonight.
They do.
And it's against the Grizz in Memphis. It's first of a back-to-back. They've got the Lakers here tomorrow night. Wemby questionable for the game. Devin Vassell is out. We're talking about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And if you need a place to go watch that game tonight and grab dinner at the same time, you know there's no better place than the Rue Pub there at 281 and at Redland Road. With those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around, no better place to go watch any big game, any big event, and go hungry because the food is fantastic. It is a great bar. It's also a great restaurant. Love the fried shrimp there. They have the biggest and best wings in town. About 15 different burgers on the menu, including the original Wemby burger. The hot dogs, the chicken sandwiches, the appetizers. I'm even told the salads are wonderful. And more importantly, that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Rue Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. Tomorrow night, steak night. Every Wednesday is steak night there at the Rue. They have happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Everybody loves the season of giving, but now the season of paying for it is upon us. That not-so-wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, stare in horror at the balance, and resolve then and there to find new ways to save money. If you're among those Americans, why not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver Plan? It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Ho, ho, ho! And if you're active or former military or a first responder, you'll save an additional 20% every single month. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe for the gift that keeps on saving from America's wireless company, Pure Talk.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
This year, it was important for my business to start strong.
Starting weak is not recommended.
But first, I needed a lot of stuff for the office.
Sounds like a shopping spree.
I just went to Staples. They have great prices on everything, like ink, toner, printers, paper, and chairs. And now, you can get up to 30% off select HP printers.
Up to 30% off HP printers? Am I on a hidden camera show?
No.
Well then, let's go Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Ends 131. Select models only.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is A.J. Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And while you're making plans for that, make your plans to come out and see us on Friday. The Blitz is live from Bubba's 33, the Alamo Ranch location, thanks to our friends from Flight by Yingling. We'll be out there on Friday for a Flight Friday and leading up, of course, to the Indiana-Oregon college football playoff game. Join us from 2 to 6. Minix and I will be out there. And you know Flight's going to be out there. Beer Santa will be out there, and he's going to have a lot of prizes to give away. You know that. Make your plans now. This Friday, Bubba's 33, the Alamo Ranch location, all with Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
Going to be a good time for sure. Spurs hopefully have a good time tonight in Memphis. The fact that Wemby is on the plane, I got to believe he's playing tonight, even though the Spurs haven't officially said that. But then again, they turn around and they've got a back-to-back. They've got the Lakers in San Antonio tomorrow night, an 8:30 ESPN game. But why would he go if he wasn't going to play? And I know before he left, he did go through a 5-on-5 scrimmage. But tonight's one of those, you got to go get that win because their schedule is about to get really, 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 really tough.
Yes.
And when you look at really the rest of January, the Lakers tomorrow night, then they're at Boston, at Minnesota, at Oklahoma City, home against Milwaukee, home against Minnesota, home against Utah, then at Houston, at Utah, home against New Orleans, then at Houston, and then at Charlotte to close out the month. But they got a tough 10-game stretch coming up that Hey, tonight, go get your win against Memphis. Even though you're a little shorthanded, go get that W.
Well, I think the Spurs are probably waiting to see how Wemby felt after going 5-on-5 yesterday in practice, full participant, and then you see how he woke up this morning and see how he felt. Was there any pain and anything like that? We'll get the injury report coming up here at any moment, and we'll let you know as soon as we get it. But I don't know. With it, I would say he traveled to Memphis, so I just don't see him playing in both games. Or if he does, very limited minutes in both games, depending on how he feels. And if he's healthy, then he plays.
Well, and again, the one thing I think we know about Wemby is he wants to go play.
Sure.
He also wants postseason awards.
Mm-hmm.
And he's getting too close to the limit to miss a game that he feels like he should play in, right?
Extremely close.
And so, although that should not dictate anything, and you got to play at least 20 minutes. So it's not like, all right, get him in the game and then get him out so it counts. No, there's a minutes that you have to play in there as well. But you're sitting there at the 2 seed right now. And with this stretch of games coming up, I mean, it's not like they have this massive cushion. You know, they might start February in the 6th spot if they're not healthy and they're not winning these games. They're after those wins over Oklahoma City, they're, I don't know, in that little bit of a funk right now where they're not getting off to fast starts, and third quarter sucked too. How do they fix that?
Well, that's a good question. And look, it's human nature, I think, sometimes.
Sure, it's the dog days.
Well, that, and you just beat the defending champions 3 times. And I think maybe, Popovich used to say this all the time. You can't get too full of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's human nature to do that, and then you get punched in the mouth by Utah and Portland. And so, and maybe, in the scheme of things, a loss is never good, but sometimes it can do you some good and kind of bring you back to reality where you want to play. Look, Devin Vassell being out too is not a good thing. I mean, he's been playing fairly well, so we'll see what happens tonight. But yeah, if Wemby's healthy, then he plays. But I just think that the fact that there's a back-to-back and they've got to get on a plane as soon as that game's over in Memphis tonight and get back here to San Antonio to face a Lakers team that has been up and down, but obviously we've got some pretty good players.
I mean, the Lakers right now at 22-11, and the Lakers better on the road than they are at home record-wise. You also wonder, and I know this sounds silly as I say it, but if you're looking at these 2 games and you get Wemby in one of them, you're going to beat Memphis. You should be able to beat Memphis without Wemby.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, you play Wemby tonight, you get the win, and I don't know what the rule is about resting somebody at home, although technically he's hurt, so if he didn't play tonight, would suck for the Memphis fans that are trying to go to the game to see the alien, but at the same time, if you look at these 2 games, the sure bet win would be tonight against Memphis versus tomorrow night against LeBron and the Lakers. So do you play him tonight because you're maybe thinking we're not going to win tomorrow night anyway? If you only get him in one of the 2 because it is a back-to-back and, the doctors, what did Sean Elliott call them? The ones that you would get mad at? It wasn't doctors. It was the, dang it.
Dadgummit, when he was on with us last year.
You were going to get the so-and-so's mad at you.
Yes.
The health sports scientist or the
something
health
like that.
Scientist,
Nerds with glasses.
Exactly. Whatever they're telling you that you have to listen to. What was that term? One of those new jobs that they have in the NBA that nobody knows what they do.
Right, exactly.
But the medical types, the ones that determine your minutes restriction.
It will be interesting. The Lakers are on a 2-game win streak right now, but they haven't been playing all that well. Boy, I don't know. It's a tough call for me because I don't see him playing in both games. So we'll see. I'd rather see him at home tomorrow against the Lakers.
Well, sure. And again, it's the Lakers. It's the Lakers coming into town. That's I've seen some people posting how much they're selling those tickets for. I mean, it's a big game, and it's fun for the Spurs to be back in big game territory where a big game. It's national TV. Sure, it's the Lakers coming in, but the Spurs, man, you want to watch them. It's appointment television again. They're good again, and it feels like it's been so long, especially January, this time of year. It's like, man, it's must-see TV.
Absolutely it is. By the way, the Lakers play tonight, too. They're in New Orleans.
Okay.
Which is probably an exhibition game for them.
I mean, it's not that much different than the Spurs in Memphis.
Well, true. There's a shorter flight to San Antonio, though, from New Orleans, if that matters.
I mean, sure. Isn't it kind of about the same?
I don't know. I would think Memphis a little bit longer.
Hour and a half. They're on a private jet with a catered meal.
Who cares, right?
I mean, you figure the Lakers will get something catered from, I don't know, get some good shrimp po' boys or something, and some red beans and rice.
Where's that place we went in New Orleans?
Dragos?
Dragos. So I'd be calling.
For the oysters?
That was a hell of a, yeah.
Absolutely.
Charbroiled.
That was good.
Outstanding.
But the red bean, I mean, there are a lot of places there, but Memphis, you're getting some barbecue.
Well, that's true. That's very true. So they're both going to eat good tonight. Good for them.
I think they always eat well on those planes.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Indy Kalu. He's coming up next. We're going to talk a little Houston Texans football. Texans in the playoffs. They'll take on the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday night. We'll talk to Indy next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a hump day on the Morning Huddle. How did the Spurs look in Memphis? How will they look against the Lakers?
Eberflus is gone. Where's the defensive coordinator coming from? Lots of candidates. We'll go down them all. We're talking Cowboys and college football. Oh, yeah, and the Spurs. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in San Antonio without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in San Antonio for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. San Antonio is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in San Antonio and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
You can swirl it, you can sip it, but the best way is to share it. Hey y'all, I'm Deanna, a team member at my local Chick-fil-A. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and new frosted sodas and floats is how well they go together. You get that bold flavor of the Coke mixed with the smooth deliciousness of the vanilla ice cream. You have a juicy filet and a smooth, creamy float. It's an awesome pairing.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and a new frosted soda and float at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant. Real team member paid for their testimonial.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Avatar Fire and Ash has arrived.
I am the fire!
Get your 3D tickets now for the greatest chapter of the biggest saga in history.
Whatever happens, protect this family.
Critics rave it's by far the best Avatar movie.
If your father and I do not return, you go as far and as fast as you can.
Movies don't get any bigger than this. Avatar Fire and Ash, rated PG-13, now playing.
It is Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday out there. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Ryan-Eagle. He is Jason Minix.
And apparently, the great Indy Kalu is at an airport ready to board a flight. Indy Kalu on the Buyers Barricades guest line. I know you went up to Philadelphia for the game this past weekend. Are you still in Philly?
No, I'm actually in Houston, but while I was in Philly, my son hit the portal and he's signing with the Florida Gators.
Whoa!
So we're headed to SEC country right now. Everything's happening so fast.
Is this breaking news?
It's official now, but I believe they posted it yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, congratulations. You happy about that?
Oh, I'm pumped. I mean, I could sit up here and try to act like I'm cool about it, but it just happened so fast. This was his first year starting at Baylor. And I will say this. This is all new to me. I'm still a little bit old school. But the way college football is now, you almost have to get in line. But after his season, the thought was that he wanted to, test the waters in the SEC. And there was quite a few schools that saw his film and basically gave him a little change to go play over there. So, my cheap ass, I said, hell yeah, that's less money I got.
Exactly. I was going to say the new intro is going to be money, money, money for young Kalu. And all I just heard from Indy is he can buy his own damn house in Gainesville.
Exactly, right.
Hey, man, that is awesome. Well,
That
look,
is, man.
Let us know when they say now boarding on the private airplane that I'm sure Florida sent to get you.
Absolutely.
Texans playoff game. I do think Houston dodged a huge bullet because of one of your favorite positions in football, kickers. The dude from Baltimore missed the game-winning field goal, sending Houston to Pittsburgh instead of Baltimore. And if you're a Texan fan, to me, that's the best news possible.
I agree 100%. If you'd have asked me before the game, which team would you rather see? Obviously, you don't want to be disrespectful because when you say, I'd rather see this team, there's a negative connotation. But with the way that the front four for the Texans get after the quarterback, I just feel like you can really rattle Aaron Rodgers more so than you could rattle a Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry combo. So I'm 100% with you.
Well, and Indy, you got to be happy that game's on Monday night and not Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. So that's a good thing for Houston too.
For the fan base, it's awesome. The players, I would think the players will be a little bit anxious and playoff season, you're so excited about getting on the field. Then to play in the evening is awesome, but you're literally waiting around. Like this time on Monday, they're still going to be waiting around to get on the field. So you get a little anxious. But for the fan base, I think that is awesome. Monday Night Football, that's a playoff game. Come on, it doesn't get better than that.
And let's go in an area I didn't expect to go in, but you're right. That's an extra day to prep and all that kind of stuff on the road. But Houston, if they win that game, 16-12, now you're talking about a
6-3.
But then you're flying home from Pittsburgh in the middle of the night, getting home Tuesday at 5 a.m. or whatever, and now you've got a short week to get ready for the next round of the playoffs. So there is a negative to playing in that Monday night spot.
You know what? I didn't even think about the flip side, Jason. I just assumed that the team or teams that played on Monday, if they advanced, they would get the latest spot that you can give the following week. But you're right. Knowing the way the NFL treats the Texans, they might have to mess around and play the Friday game. Like they might put them to play a Friday night high school type game. But no, you're right. On the back ends or after the game with less time, maybe a whole day that you don't get to recover. I'm with you. That can show up on the field.
All right, Indy, I've got to ask you a question because that vaunted Texans defense didn't look too vaunted against the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday. Is it human nature that you've got a backup quarterback starting, and, well, it's the last game of the season, although at that time the Texans still had an opportunity to win that division. What happened to that defense?
You know what? I think it is human nature. Then if you notice, they were rotating the front seven more than they typically rotate. And when you start rotating guys and it's the end of the season, you know that you've already secured a playoff spot. You didn't win the AFC South, so you're not going to be hosting a game. I do think it's human nature to almost have that preseason feel to it. Like, hey, let's get this. We're going to try every snap. Once we put our hand in the dirt, we're going to give it all we got. But let's just get out of here unscathed so we can get ready for the playoffs. And human nature will, if that's your mindset, you're not going to play with the same intensity that you were playing to get to that point.
Now that said, and while the defense was a huge surprise because the Colts scored a ton of points, offensively, C.J. Stroud looked pretty good. 14-23, threw a touchdown pass. They ran the ball well. Offensively, did you see enough from Houston heading into the postseason? Did they show you what you were looking for?
They showed me enough for me to be optimistically excited and to understand that I'm not going to sit up here and compare this offense to one of the top offenses in the league right now, but it's trending in the right direction. And I feel like I've been saying that the last 3 weeks that I've been lucky enough to be on the show with y'all. So that's a good feeling because if C.J. Stroud and the offense goes the way C.J. Stroud goes, if he continues to get better every week, I mean, that means we expect him to have a good game against Pittsburgh. If he has a good game against Pittsburgh, the thought is the defense is going to do their thing. So what do you know? You're in the next round of the playoffs. And if he continues to get better that next week, then anything can happen. So, yeah, he's given me reason to be very excited. This is not the team that started 0-3. I mean, this is a team that I think most, whether you're the Denver Broncos, the New England Patriots, I think this is a team that you truly don't want coming to your stadium if you're hosting a playoff game. You're hoping that they lose and there's a big upset right now.
Well, you know, Indy, and that brings up a good point. In the AFC, there is no Patrick Mahomes. There's no Lamar Jackson. There's no Joe Burrow. Josh Allen is still around, but he's got a tough game against Jacksonville. I don't see any reason why not Houston to make it through and get to the Super Bowl.
I'm with you. I mean, this is look. If I do have my Texan hat on as I'm representing the airport, but if I'm just talking on behalf of the Texans, I can say why not Texans and give you a bunch of reasons why, like you did. But to be fair and transparent, I think that about every team in the AFC. Why not Jacksonville? You know, why not New England? Why not any team in the AFC? Because I feel like, which is a good thing for the NFL brand on the AFC side, it's wide open. Now, I don't, even though Pittsburgh is hosting, and maybe this is where I'm being biased, I still feel like the Texans should be favored going to Pittsburgh. And if they're not, I'm not a gambling man. I might have to put $10 down on that. I'm feeling pretty good right now, so I might have to put $10 on the Texans if they're not a favorite to win.
DK Kalu must have got big-time money from the Florida Gators if Indy Kalu's willing to bet $10.
$10.
I'm living the highlight.
DK.
I'm living the highlight.
All right, I'm about to tell you.
Yeah, we're gonna look up.
Got the Steelers. Actually, the Texans are a 3-point favorite on Monday night.
Well, man, see, that's what I hate. I thought I was breaking news. I thought I was about to go against the grain, but I guess other people are seeing what I see. I don't feel as special anymore.
Well, there you go. I
you
still
should
think
always feel special, Indy.
That really, you know what? That really bothers me, guys. I really thought I was like thinking outside the box, and your listeners were going to follow my lead and put $10 on the Texans, and we were all going to be happy. Like, I feel like somebody's. Yeah, I just feel cheap. I feel like I just found out my girlfriend slept with my fat homeboy 2 years ago. That has no game. We've all been there. Where you're like, hold on, you got
yourself. Have you not met
You
Joe
got with
Reinickle?
Pookie?
Come
You
on.
slept with who? What?
Yeah. What do you mean you got with Joe at the Patton F school dance?
Hey, I was quite the stud back in those days, Indy. You know what I mean?
See, and my buddy Kevin Brock, the former Spurs PA announcer, Indy, I think you know KB. He's like, love it, Steelers against the world. I mean, let's be honest. Aaron Rodgers, the fact that you get a chance as a Texan guy to end his career, send him off into the sunset, because he thought last week was going to be his last week. You know, when Baltimore was driving down the field, they showed him on TV. He's like, well, this sucks. And then the kicker missed it. And I know how much you love kickers.
2 in a row.
Yeah. My goodness, Indy.
It's been a tough few weeks for kickers. And maybe I'm the only one on this show who actually watched the game last night, Montana State against Illinois.
Yeah.
First of all, for the few people that did watch it, what a treat. I mean, that was a heck of a game. And then for that field goal kicker to just screw it up like that, it's just been a tough week. You literally have one job. Like, this is why I don't feel bad for kickers.
Well, you're talking about the field goal or the extra point or both? I mean, because they were both blocked. I mean,
exactly.
Is that on the kicker, the line, the snapper? I mean, to get 2 blocked in a game, that's insane.
Kick it higher.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. It's on the whole, the entire protection team. I believe get this. One of the extra point block where the guy came off the edge, his dad played with us at Rice. So, small world. But you know what? I put it on everyone. The snap, the holder, the block. When they block a kick, you can't always just put that on the kicker. But the actual missed kicks, I'm putting on the kicker.
Which brings up a good point, because the Baltimore Ravens were patting this guy on the back and said, don't worry about it, it's fine. And I told him to keep his chin up. I mean, seriously, is that what they're thinking, or they're just saying that?
There's about 50-50, because I've been in that situation, Joe, and some guys, you want to be a good teammate. And if you're in that situation, you would hope that your brethren will come and say, hey, we still got your back. But there are other guys. I joke a lot, and it's usually the big guys up front on the defensive side, offensive side, linemen. They're like, man, you got one job. Like, you make as much money as I make, and I'm putting my neck on the line every day, and all you have to do is swing your leg and be accurate. So there are some guys that are disgusted with their own teammate when they miss those easy shots. Now, if it's a 50-plus, then it's kind of like, okay, it's okay. But if it's a chip shot and you've been consistent all year, you're expected to make that.
Indy Kalu, a longtime NFL vet, lover of kickers here on the Blitz. Let me ask you, because Baltimore's season has ended miserably 2 years in a row. This was a chip shot field goal that would have sent you to the playoffs. Last year, it was one of their best tight ends with a drop, just a huge drop. As a defensive player, do you say anything different, say, to a Mark Andrews than your rookie kicker who missed a chip shot field goal?
You do, and it's not fair, and the NFL isn't fair. That's why guys that play the same position make different amounts of money and they get treated different. But it's in those two examples or truths that you just brought up, I actually felt bad for Mark Andrews. Just when I was watching that, because I know how hard he works. I know how much he means to the team. And for their season to end the way it ended last year, where your only thought is, oh, this season ended because of Mark Andrews, and it wiped away all the good that he's done over the last few years on the field. My heart went out to him. But with the kicker, I was like, that's unacceptable. So it's not fair. It's not a fair world we live in. But I do feel like it's a different feeling for the teammates when you compare the two. And great job comparing the two endings, because they were both very tough to watch, and they both felt like one person was the individual that let the entire team down.
Yeah, that sucks. And I hate to be a kicker, to be honest with you. I really would, because of situations like that. All right, Indy, let me ask you this. The weather's supposed to be pretty crappy in Pittsburgh on Monday night. It's not going to be good. The Texans, is that going to cause any problems for them? Or how did you handle just horrible, cold, miserable weather?
I hated it. Like there are some psychos that I played with and played against where it's 15 degrees, windy, which hurts. Like the cold hurts when it's windy. And, I remember one year we're playing Mike Allstott. For those listeners who don't know him, just one of the baddest dudes to ever carry a football.
Yeah.
And we were playing them in the playoffs. And all the media was saying, oh, the Eagles have never lost a game when it's like 20 degrees and below. And on the flip side, Tampa has never won a playoff game if it was below a certain temperature. It was well below that temperature. And Mike Allstott came out during warm-ups with no shirt on. And I was like, yeah, we're about to lose. And they did it. And he wasn't really doing it for the camera. Maybe he was doing it to kind of psych himself and his team up. But it wasn't like the players today where, they're looking for the camera and that's why they do it. He's a psycho. And they went on to beat us. He had a huge game. But for me, I really just don't like it. Like I'm always, once I'm on the sideline looking for the heater, most of the guys from the South are all huddled around the heater and just trying to make sure we're staying warm because it does affect you.
Did you wear sleeves or did you go no sleeves and use the warm skin?
Bruce Smith taught me about using Vaseline, the good old-fashioned Vaseline right next to your nightstand, next to your sock that you have right there. Like he's the one who told me that Vaseline will close up your pores where you don't have to wear a long sleeve and you'll feel warm, and it's true. Like I was like, I never put Vaseline on that part of my body, but when I did, it was like it was warm and it really helped, and it felt like I was wearing a layer. But it was still cold, but you definitely can feel the grate of look. If Puff Daddy bought 10,000 baby oils,
That's what I was going to say. Is that the same thing?
Bruce Smith had about 10,000 Vaseline, but it was strictly for football.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Hey, Bruce Smith could do whatever the hell Bruce Smith wants to do.
Exactly.
But there's also some stuff, it's called warm skin.
Yeah.
And Dat Wynn used to talk about that, and then he had one of the trainers from the Cowboys send him some because we were like, what the hell are you talking about? It actually does work.
Now is that gel?
Apparently, like what you prefer, Indy.
Is that a gel or is it a what? I haven't heard of that. Warm skin.
Text that and have them send it to you. Yeah, it's kind of like a gel, like a lotion.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it does the same thing Vaseline does.
Well, it depends, I guess.
Like I said, just not multi-purpose.
Hey, but you're going to be watching games in Florida, Indy. You're not going to need that stuff.
Well, maybe.
You know what? I'm going to be by myself in a room, so maybe
Stop.
He's moving into the dorm room. I'm going to the hotel. So
I'm glad you said hotel, man.
Well,
take some of his NIL money and head down to the strip club down in Gainesville.
Are we still talking about Vaseline now or what? I don't know.
Definitely the hotel.
Oh, Mrs. Kalu must be listening.
I'm sure, right?
Yeah. Well, Indy, congrats to DK, although Florida, and congrats. That's awesome.
Appreciate it. It's fun. Appreciate it. And you know what? The real work begins now because he's playing some monsters every single week.
Well, let me guess. So, Florida, I know they're playing at Texas this year. Are they at Texas A&M too?
No, I didn't see Texas A&M on the list. And if they are, they're playing in Florida because I just did what you did last night. I was thinking, okay, which away games will be easy to visit, and I saw that one in Austin. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Very cool, yeah.
That'd be good.
Awesome, man.
Brush
Well,
up on your
congrats,
Tom
Indy.
Petty because you're going to need it down there.
You need what now?
Your Tom Petty. Make sure you got the Tom Petty playlist going through because that's all they play down there in Gainesville. It's where he's from.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, there's other things a person like me needs. I need my green card when I go down there. I need to make sure they know I was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. So if you try sending me back somewhere, send me back to San Antonio.
Enjoy Florida.
All right, brothers. Y'all keep up the good work.
Appreciate it.
man.
The great
Oh,
Indy
my
Kalu here on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online. BuyersBarricades.com.
Oh, man, that's really cool news, though, for him and the whole Kalu family. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Florida, little SEC football.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them. That's going to be fun. I think Florida will be much better this year, too, I would think.
You would
be much worse.
I mean, I was going to say, although it's just funny because I know months ago, and that's how things change, and it is the new world of college athletics. Little NIL money to head to Florida from a guy that, was committed to Baylor. And there was some talk about, well, I hope the coach doesn't get fired. DK really likes it there, and next year is going to be his year to really star there at Baylor and be the guy because the guy in front of him is going to graduate. And, Florida, you're offering how much?
Yeah,
I'm there.
Sure.
I'm there.
Why not?
The crazy world of college athletics today.
Well, and again, it happens fast when you're in the transfer portal right now, and that window's open, so you got to get on a plane and head down there and get it done and get it taken care of. So good for him, man. I'm happy for him. He's just a hell of a nice guy.
Yep, good people.
Love that whole, absolutely.
Good people.
All right, it's a Tuesday. Hope you're having a great one out there. We got a lot to get into coming up here in the next hour, so don't go anywhere. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And you think about the playoff games happening this weekend and, of course, the Texans on Monday night. Make those games a lot more exciting by playing along on Underdog, the best place to get in on all the action, make your picks, and win money right now in Texas. And playing on Underdog is easy. Pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower, touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, passing yards. I know here lately and against that Texans defense, Aaron Rodgers and under on passing yards, something that you want to look at. C.J. Stroud and under on passing yards because barely does he go well over 200. Get all your picks right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So what are you waiting for? Download the Underdog app today. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777 or biglou.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
I'm worth more.
You bet I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
We completely agree. At GiveMeTheVin.com, you are worth more, and your car's worth more. And we want to pay more for good cars that give me the VIN, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if we don't beat a deal from Carvana or CarMax, we'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, how are those New Year's resolutions?
Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
There's a reason why we say Connecticut is the last water softener you'll ever own. Call us at 656-PURE. I'll even let you try a Connecticut water system for free. We'll change your water, and it'll change your life.
The last water softener you'll ever own. ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
It is the news of the day. The Dallas Cowboys have fired defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus after one season. Cowboys defense was awful. They gave up over 30 points a game, the most in the NFL. Finished 30th in yards allowed per game, ranked 30th in turnovers created, and 27th in sacks. Cowboys will start the season with their 4th different DC in as many seasons. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones says it was clear a change was needed.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Tuesday afternoon in San Antonio, this is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix. And you just heard Sports Center. Matt Eberflus no longer with the Dallas Cowboys. Hallelujah.
Exactly. And again, I don't want to celebrate anybody losing their job. But coaches know they get hired to get fired. That's why they have contracts and buyouts and make all the money. And the results weren't there. And again, I don't know what to make of anything. In today's world, you got to look at social media reactions and say, like the Cowboys put out a nice little pretty statement talking about the quote from Jerry Jones that we love Matt, been a friend a long time, but we suck. He's got to go. And not so many words.
Pretty much is what Jerry said.
George Pickens hearted the statement.
He did.
He did.
And he said LMAO.
Laughing my ass off. Yeah.
Well, that's it. He didn't say that. He just put the initials up there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but
so what does that mean? I mean, seriously. Now Pickens, who knows? But is he happy about it? I mean, I would think so. If you're an offensive player, and we heard from Dak Prescott yesterday, basically throwing the defense under the bus. The offense was good. We did this, and we still lost, and they couldn't hold a lead. I would imagine just about every offensive player is not unhappy about Matt Eberflus being gone today.
Well, and I would say every defensive player, except maybe Kenneth Murray, because that was his guy.
Yeah.
Although he's a free agent and not likely to return.
Not likely.
If they consult me, 59, gone.
Uh-huh. Well, absolutely. And that was part of the problem. We've heard all kinds of stuff coming out today that Eberflus just wasn't flexible. And the players had an issue with it. Trayvon Diggs was one, and that obviously take that for what it's worth. But he just wasn't flexible enough and wouldn't change his mind and all of that kind of stuff. So it's interesting. By the way, I'm just seeing this from Bobby Belt on Twitter. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and Brian Schottenheimer are going to hold their end-of-season press conference tomorrow at the Star.
Okay.
So that will be interesting.
And the Cowboys tend to do things different from everybody else. You know, you've seen some teams already have done that.
Yep.
The Cowboys typically wait so they can have all their end of meetings, and also I think they delay so that they get the spotlight to themselves. So I wouldn't have been surprised if they did it on Thursday. Although with the college football playoffs, maybe they know that, all right, the sporting world is going to focus on the games Thursday and Friday, but generally Jerry wants to steal headlines from the playoff games. Wednesday, what else is going to be going on?
Perfect.
Right? So it is, except for, I don't know, so-and-so might have an interview here. So, but again, everybody's going to want to hear how Jerry Jones is going to get on behind a microphone and say that they are going to fix the defense. They understand what the issues are. And quite frankly, step one was today, parting ways with Matt Eberflus. That's a big move for the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm surprised they've done it this soon.
Well, and I think they wanted to get it. Maybe that's why they put off their end of the season press conference. They just got the email as well.
11:30.
11:30 tomorrow at the Star. Jerry, Stephen, and Shotty will all be available. It'll be interesting to hear what they have to say about not only Eberflus being fired, but what are they looking for and what are they going to go about and how are they going to do it. I hope they talk a lot of defense tomorrow and that's their focus coming up in this offseason.
Again, I mean, we could almost predict some of the, I mean, Shotty's going to be all shucks, really nice. I mean, really like the guy.
We got soft in the D gap.
and that's a problem, and we have to fix it. And he wasn't willing to fix some things. It will be interesting to see how honest Brian Schottenheimer is. He was, I thought, more honest than most coaches, but that's just his nature. But he still wasn't overly critical of guys.
Mm-hmm.
But there were things that he said. That's what blew me away with Dak Prescott Sunday after the loss to the Giants, essentially saying, yeah, it's the first time that I can't look at my play and say this is why we lost games, because offense was good, defense was awful. And you just, I mean, that's as close as you're going to get to Dak Prescott ripping any part of the organization, any of his teammates. And again, we tried hard. We like everything that he said. It wasn't effort. It wasn't this guy. What are we doing? Right? You never hear that from Dak Prescott. And then you kind of wonder about like him talking and even Diggs talking about the conversations those two had. I got to believe Dak Prescott was honest with him. Dude, you're making your own bed. This isn't the right thing to do. I mean, I'm sure we've all been in situations where you got a friend that you know is clearly doing something not right, and you're trying to be honest with them, and They might tell you they hear you, and then they go out and they do what they do. And it's not like Diggs was great in Green Bay the other night.
Not at all. Oh, my gosh. You wonder about that guy. And can he come back? He can't be that old. But, man, he did not look good in Green Bay. Again, it's his first game, but he's going to have an opportunity to help Green Bay win a playoff game. I would imagine he's going to be out there. It's the reason they signed him, to bring him in and let him do his thing. So there's a lot of holes in that defense. It's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to be very interesting to see what the Cowboys do to fix at least some of that stuff. Because, again, with the way the offense is playing, if they're still the same way and they can keep a George Pickens and he plays the way he did this year and Dak has another season like he had, I tell you, they just need to improve by a little bit and just stop somebody on occasion, and I think they'll get 4 or 5 more wins.
Stop it.
Exactly.
I am curious. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, or comment on YouTube. Jerry will get asked tomorrow who's on his short list for D.C. Brian Schottenheimer will get asked tomorrow. They're not going to answer those questions. They're not. I'd be surprised if they even hinted. Even if the question was direct, like, any interviews planned with, I don't know, Brian Flores? What about a former coach in Atlanta? I don't know that they're going to give anything up tomorrow unless somehow they come in tomorrow with an announcement. Like, we have hired so-and-so.
That would be exciting.
That would be shocking because that's not the Jerry way. I don't see that happening. But as we sit here, less than 24 hours from this press conference, who would be on your short list of guys that you would want to see as the coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys? I'm just curious to see how all of the different theories are, because I know our listeners are intelligent. Sometimes I see stuff on Twitter and I think, what planet are you from? But I'm curious now, like, what are you looking for? What would you want to see in the next defensive coordinator?
I want to see a guy that's going to bring in a culture of accountability, number one, and a culture, that you're, for lack of a better words, dogs. I mean, guys that fly around and hit somebody. Cowboys didn't do that. The tackling was atrocious most of the season.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't cover anybody. There was no pressure on the pass rusher, and I don't want to hear about Micah Parsons. All right, I just don't, because they didn't do anything with him. So I'm not. He's a great player, yada yada yada, but I don't want to hear about that. Go find somebody else. They found him. Go find somebody else, and it's just that's not an excuse, and that really pissed me off when I heard Eberflus say that the other day.
I mean,
Micah Parsons is gone. I didn't know what to do.
I mean,
I'm paraphrasing.
I know. And again, I love how that is a reason.
It's not.
It is. It a reason or excuse, whatever you want to call it. When you trade away one of the best defensive players in the NFL a week before the season, it is going to damage your defense.
For 3 games. I'll give him 3 games.
I was saying that in September. I mean, you can treat it like an ankle sprain or an injury. At some point, you've got to do something to recover. The Ravens have just fired John Hall. We'll get back to Mike in a moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
my goodness.
That is a surprise that isn't.
18 seasons.
Yeah.
In Baltimore.
And the fact that he's fired, not the mutually agreed to part ways.
Wow, the Ravens, according to Tom Pelissar, are holding a meeting now to inform staff. And
if we know, they should already know.
They know now for sure. But
we all have phones.
Boy, this is breaking all over the place. That's huge, but not all that surprising. I mean, honestly, because the Baltimore Ravens have been one of the best teams in the AFC over the last several years, but they just haven't gotten it done. And, yeah, I know Lamar Jackson gets a lot of criticism for that, as he should. He's the quarterback of that team. And when the lights are bright, Lamar Jackson hasn't stepped up. Not saying it's all his fault all the time, just like Dak Prescott.
Sure.
Although most of the time it is Dak's.
What?
Yeah, most of the time it is Dak's. But, look, I'm just saying, they haven't gotten it done. And they've had the best team in the AFC on many of occasions. And I know there's a guy named Patrick Mahomes that is causing some problems. But this is it doesn't really surprise me. But there's another guy out on the market that is going to be a hot prospect. I don't think there's any question about it. If he wants to go somewhere, I think he's going to have opportunity.
I know, and we'll get into it coming up. After 18 years as a head coach, do you immediately take a coordinator role with somebody else?
No.
Not
if you're Harbaugh after 18 years.
I mean, go do TV, go do something. Now, let's go with a long shot, just throwing spaghetti on the wall names for the Cowboys defensive coordinator. Pete Carroll. Still wants to coach, loves being around guys, just got fired. He's going to get money from Davis for a while, so he wouldn't be overly expensive. And the relationship that he and Schottenheimer have, the relationship that he and Jerry has, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody like Pete Carroll wouldn't end up, and Pete Carroll's one that could go from head coach to coordinator in a situation like what they have in Dallas, more so than, say, a Harbaugh. Harbaugh probably needs a year off or go work with your brother in L.A. Or when the Texans win on Monday and Tomlin gets fired on Tuesday, the podcast those two guys could do on the AFC North would be incredible.
Well, look, it'd be outstanding. And if Harbaugh may want a year off. You never know. I mean, it's possible that he may just say, the heck with it, I want to take a year off, and then we'll see what happens. I just think a guy that's been a head coach for that long is not going to go be a coordinator somewhere. I just don't think so. Now, in the case of Pete Carroll, I could see that happening because Carroll's not going to get another opportunity to be a head coach.
No.
I think this was his last opportunity. And it didn't work out too well. So I could see that scenario with how close Schotty and Pete Carroll are. And look, I think that would be a decent move, I suppose. Although Pete, I want somebody that's hard, that's gonna growl at guys, and I don't see Pete Carroll doing that.
Well, because if he growls, he'd lose his gum. And
I'm just saying,
gum all over. I don't know. Pete Carroll. Is he too loose? I think about the Legion of Boom defenses and the accountability those boys had.
Yeah, but he had some pretty good coordinators back with Seattle.
Right, so you're giving the credit to the coordinators, not the head coach.
Well, I think so.
Or the GM that put that together.
Well, all of the above. I mean, they all get credit for it, but I think a defensive coordinator with some grit that's gonna put some fear into those guys and hold them accountable. I think that's what the Cowboys need. Brian Schottenheimer showed that he willing to do that, although I think he was a little light on some of the punishment. However, I think you need a guy that is going to crack the whip a little bit.
Light? I mean, there was a game that a dude didn't get to start.
He had to go out for 2 minutes.
Boy,
2 slap that hand.
I mean, still need him to win games.
I'm just saying. I want a guy that's going to change that culture and hold that defense accountable. Now, Pete Carroll looks like a guy who's going to bring flowers and some tea with some cookies.
Come on.
Come on.
Pete's a little tougher than that, kind of like Schottenheimer, kind of like Garrett. I mean, when you saw Garrett on the field dog cussing somebody, and we've seen that from Schotty, and I think you would see that from Pete Carroll. You can be a nice guy on the podium and a likable guy and command the respect of the room. Not everybody has to be this total a-hole type to, command respect.
Well, I think the Cowboys could use an a-hole. Honestly.
They probably could.
Well, they could. Let's get an a-hole in there and see how that works out because nice guy hadn't worked out too well up to this point in time. Well, let's talk a little bit more about this. The big news, John Harbaugh fired as head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. What happens to him? A lot of openings and a lot of good jobs in the NFL. We're talking about it. We continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your heater, your AC, anything with the house, call Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, 210-651-5899. At Quarter Moon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. They do not have commissioned sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quarter Moon, they are green certified. Call them 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Kohl's new clearance markdowns are intense. Up to 70% off is the kind of deal that'll leave you feeling stunned and make you whisper things like, "Where have you been my whole life?" to a cardigan. Just take a deep breath, steady your cart, and try to act normal. But it's not possible. The savings are just too good. Shop new clearance markdowns now, in-store and online at Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know you can't cook. You're not one of those people who say that they can, but when people come over for dinner, they find out the hard way, you can't. You can't even microwave popcorn, and that's literally just one button. Plus, measuring and patience are huge parts of cooking, and that's just not you. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Pricing coverage match limited by state law.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan during halftime or overtime. From spinning slots to instant scratch-style cards, it's like running the perfect play, all from home. New players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins with a shot at some serious prizes every time you play. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
This Friday is a Flight Friday with a Blitz live at Bubba's 33 in Alamo Ranch. Kick off the weekend and pregame with us and Flight by Yingling ahead of the Indiana-Oregon semifinal game.
Flight will be on special, and you know they'll have some great prizes to give away, including those cool backpack coolers. So plan now to join the Blitz from 2 to 6, a Flight Friday at Bubba's 33 Alamo Ranch location with Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
George gets justice. In San Antonio, we look out for each other. So if someone's reckless driving puts you in the hospital, don't call some out-of-town lawyer. Call someone who actually lives here and will fight for what you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers. Because to George, you're a neighbor and he's got your back. And remember, you only pay if they win. Call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com. Principal Office, San Antonio.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a hump day on the Morning Huddle. How did the Spurs look in Memphis? How will they look against the Lakers?
Eberflus is gone. Where's the defensive coordinator coming from? Lots of candidates. We'll go down them all. We're talking Cowboys and college football. Oh, yeah, and the Spurs. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We want Jesse's girl, huh? Everybody wants Jesse's girl.
I'm just trying to figure out why Pledge is playing this.
I'm not sure.
What did I miss? Is there a Jesse in the news?
Apparently, there's a John in the news, though. John Harbaugh, if you're just getting around your radio or YouTube, has been fired by the Baltimore Ravens after 18 years as head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. He's done there. And
7 head coaching jobs open now. After the Texans beat Pittsburgh on Monday, that'll be 8. There are 32 teams in the NFL. Think about that.
Well, that's incredible. Adam Schefter is reporting that John Harbaugh has just gone to the top of every team's list.
Well, yeah.
Every one of them that has a head coach opening, he's just gone to the top of the list, and rightfully so. If he wants a job next season, he will have a job next season.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm curious if there's somebody out there that might be thinking they're keeping their coach, that now that Harbaugh is available, saying, well, let's think about this for a minute. Right? I mean, here's a guy that's won a Super Bowl. They're always good. There's always a reason, some weird stuff. Like, if they make the playoffs, if their kicker doesn't miss a chip shot to beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He's not getting fired this week. It's kind of like Tomlin. I joke. I don't think Tomlin gets fired after they go to the playoffs again, although I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, dude, I'm out.
I wouldn't either, especially when they lose, or if they lose.
Because that's an organization that's going to, again, start over at quarterback. I don't know. I mean, do you bring Aaron Rodgers back for another year? I don't know. But I look at a place like Cincinnati, right? They said they're keeping their coach. But now that Harbaugh is available, does Cincinnati rethink things? I mean, what – and there might be so much more to it with Baltimore, all the talk about Lamar Jackson and his cap hit that's coming up, and I don't see them moving on from him. But Lamar, and it would, I think, take too much to trade for a guy like that. But also, if you're Harbaugh and you understand their finances better than anybody, are you going to be able to win there anytime soon because of what you've got tied up in your quarterback? You either extend the guy out for several more years, or is there a somebody that's available today, Cliff Kingsbury, that might be able to do some stuff with a guy like Lamar that could also be a head coach?
Boy, it's going to be interesting, to say the least. And again, I think the question is does John Harbaugh want to coach next season? Or does he want to take it? It's going to be up to him at this point in time, because there'll be openings next year, you know. But if there's one out there, and there are a lot of big jobs out there. You got the Giants that's available. At this point in time, I mean, you could have another one, Jason, and I'll say this. If the Buffalo Bills lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars, could there be an opening in Buffalo?
You know, it's possible because Sean's been there a long time.
Yes.
But, and at some point, you're a good coach. You've taken us so far, but we haven't gotten over the hump. I mean, you look at the openings. Giants, now granted, they kept their GM, but they put together a hell of a defensive front. They've got a quarterback. They've got a running back. They've got a great wide receiver. And if they can get those guys healthy, the running back and the wide receiver, the Giants should be good. They should be good. Should be. They haven't been, no matter what, seemingly for a long time. What's the other jobs that were?
You got the Titans, the Raiders, the Falcons, the Cardinals, the Browns. I don't know if Harbaugh would be interested in any of those. Maybe the Giants, perhaps. I don't know if he's interested in the Titans or the Raiders or the Falcons, the Cardinals, the Browns. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Cardinals, I don't know what's going on there. That just does not look like a good situation with an owner in Bidwell that just seems out of touch. The Falcons job, they've got a Bijan Robinson. They've got some nice defensive players. They got a receiver.
Don't have a quarterback.
Well, I mean, if they got a Penix who's always got bad knees. And you still got Kirk Cousins as a backup.
Who just reworked his contract, by the way.
Well, and you play in the NFC South.
And you play in the NFC South. So you didn't even have to have a winning record to get to the postseason, right? Atlanta, I think, could be an attractive job for an established coach. You know, I just feel like Arizona is going to be a first-time head coach, and guy's going to go 19-40 over 5 years and get fired, and they're going to start over. Although Carolina was kind of the same way, and now they're a playoff team, right? They've kind of turned it around. Houston there for a while was kind of in that same boat. But D'Amico got in there, and they turned some things around once they got a quarterback and built a solid defense, right? Tennessee.
A lot of work to do in Tennessee.
A lot of work to do. But
you do have a quarterback.
Well, you drafted a quarterback number 1 last year, and I love Cam Ward, but did you see enough this year out of Cam Ward that says that guy in a couple of years is going to be the guy that everybody thinks a number 1 quarterback should be?
Yeah.
If he would have gone 2 or 3 years ago, I don't even know that he's a first-round guy. When you look at the class that Jaden Daniels came in, Cam Ward wouldn't have been a first-round guy in that group, right? That's one of the reasons why he went back to school. So while they drafted a quarterback, does that mean they have a quarterback?
I think they do, and I think Cam Ward has shown enough talent-wise that he needs an opportunity. Look, that team, you talk about holes. They got holes all over the place. Look, Tony Pollard is probably he's going to be on the last year of his contract, and he's not exactly a guy that is stellar. They need some help, and Cam Ward needs some help. And I think it's attractive if you get a coach in there that's an offensive-minded coach and can help put some pieces together. Then yes, I think that Cam Ward at least deserves another couple of years before we make a determination whether he's the guy or not. And I think he can improve and be okay. But, I would go with Cam Ward, at least for another year, for sure.
You know, and it's so interesting because kind of like Caleb Williams, his rookie year was a disaster because of coaching.
Yep.
This year, he has turned it around. Cam Ward, coach gets fired in the middle of the year, so hard to judge. Kellen Mond, former Reagan Rattler, Aggie, he wrote a piece on LinkedIn.
Really?
About the problem with young quarterbacks getting failed by their organizations. And it's from a perspective that I'd never thought of before, because there are times where, all right, you're a rookie and here you go, and it doesn't work, and you don't have the guys around you because that's why your team sucked and everything's going into the quarterback. And you look at a guy like Sam Darnold, who went to the Jets and then bounced around, and, you know, now he's the Super Bowl MVP favorite, according to one betting website. He's got the number 1 seed. Took Sam Darnold a long time. But Kellen wrote something that I never really thought of, because kind of like my argument to see Joe Milton play. You got to let these guys develop. They got to get reps somewhere. And Kellen wrote, he said, part of it's the overcoaching. You got your quarterback coach, you got your offensive coordinator, you've got your head coach, you've got all these people in your ear. So when you're reading something, you're thinking about too much as opposed to reacting, which is why Phillip Rivers was able to come in and just react. Veteran quarterbacks just react. They're not thinking while they're out there on the field, and young quarterbacks don't get enough practice time unless you're the starter, which overcoaching was something that Kellen Mond wrote about on LinkedIn about why so many young quarterbacks fail out. There's just too much that they're trying to process instead of just going to play football.
Well, I mean, it's the NFL too. And no disrespect to Kellen Mond, and he's going to know better than me because he was in that system and probably got overcoached, perhaps, and that's why he's writing that piece. But I've said it for years, and I think it's a luxury to have a veteran quarterback for one of these guys to be drafted behind and have a couple of years. Look at Jordan Love.
Yep.
Perfect example. Aaron Rodgers is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but that's the
well, even Mahomes for a year.
Sure. You just don't have that luxury in the NFL because teams that are drafting quarterbacks high suck. I mean, let's face it, for the most part. And those teams are going to take some time. That's why I say a guy like Cam Ward needs a coach, and he didn't have that, and he still hasn't had it. And that, an offensive coach to come in there, and again, that's why the Tennessee Titans ought to be hung for firing Mike Vrabel, for goodness sake. I mean, it was just that's malpractice on their part. And you see what Mike Vrabel is able to do in New England in 1 year and completely turned that team around. And so I think coaching matters in the NFL, but I think developing these guys, and I disagree with playing these guys. Look, you either have it or you don't. A lot of these guys come in and they have it. Some don't. And that's just the way that it goes. But to take time out of it, with every game as important as it is, and the money that's on the line, you can't sit a starter to give a Joe Milton an opportunity to develop. I mean, you just can't.
Well, and I get that, which is why when the games don't matter anymore, you got to see if they can play. But at the same time, the system that the NFL is in, the hamster wheel, all right, well, we need a quarterback. We're drafting high. Who's the best quarterback in this class? You can't say, well, I don't really like any of these guys. Let me wait till next year. You can't do that.
Can't do it.
You can't do it. So,
well, and that's where I think it's going to be interesting to see with Mendoza from Indiana coming out. He's going to be the number 1 draft pick. He's going to go to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep.
But by the way, they still have a veteran quarterback on the roster. Do they sit Mendoza and let him learn under Geno Smith for a year? I don't think so if you're drafting this kid, but that is a possibility, and he will have that luxury because my understanding, Geno Smith has another year left on his contract there with the Las Vegas Raiders. A lot will depend on who their quarterback is for sure.
Well, and again, depending on the coach and the quarterback, you can have success early. You saw it last year. Jaden Daniels is a rookie.
Absolutely.
With the right offensive coordinator who got let go today. Which is bizarre, and by all accounts, Jaden Daniels isn't happy that Cliff Kingsbury is no longer going to be his offensive coordinator.
I'm sure, and that's why I think a guy like Cliff Kingsbury is going to be attractive. The Tennessee Titans, I would love to see them hire Cliff Kingsbury. I think he would do wonders with a guy like Cam Ward. So we'll see what happens, but that's what I'm talking about. And I think, look, defensive coaches have their place when you already have a quarterback and an offense in place. When you have a new quarterback, I think defensive coaches hiring one is not a good thing.
I know we're up against the break. Knucklehead question.
Sure.
Or just thought. Offensive-minded and defensive-minded. Why don't more offensive-minded coaches, become defensive coordinators? And I say that. Do you think outside the box a little bit? This year, the 3 weeks that the Cowboys defense actually looked like a legitimate NFL defense were weeks that Brian Schottenheimer spent with the defensive unit talking about how they would pick apart and call plays and run stuff against those defenses, right? Offensive coordinators spend their life trying to figure out how to find the holes in your defense. Wouldn't those make a pretty good defensive coordinator if they know what they're looking to stop? You know, it's like the guy that was a wide receiver that can't catch well enough and becomes a defensive back. They're pretty good at anticipating the pass, right?
Sure.
They become really good corners at one point were wide receivers.
Let's talk about that, Jason.
It's kind of interesting spaghetti on the wall, outside the box thinking.
And what do you guys think out there? If you're on our YouTube page, San Antonio Sports Star, you can comment there, like and subscribe there. You can get Jason at Jason Minix on Twitter. I'm at Joe Reinigle 210. Or you can give us a call the old-fashioned way, 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. Are we thinking outside the box? Offensive coordinators becoming defensive coordinators. We're talking about it. We continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, it's January. Everybody's talking about, you got to get real about your health. And you can do that over at Synergenics and Low T Center. Now, in today's AI world, you don't trust with your own eyes some of the stuff you see anymore. And you got to stop and ask, is that real? Well, you know what is real? Your health and what the experts at Synergenics and Low T Center can do to change your life for the better. So if you've been suffering from symptoms of low testosterone, like you're constantly tired, lacking focus, just not feeling like yourself, Synergenics and Low T Center, go there, meet with a real provider, not a chat bot on a website. And the experts there are going to offer you superior medication, service, and support. And they've been doing this for well over a decade. That is real. They also have real clinics all over town where you can walk in and meet with that real provider, talk about your symptoms, your health goals, and they're going to create a treatment plan just for you. Then they give you the power to choose to be treated in the clinic or receive at-home treatment. Does start, though, with a simple and quick free TRT test at the center. On-site lab means you're going to get your results in about 20 minutes. No waiting for days like at other places. And ladies, for a limited time, the women's hormone test is only $99, normally $299. So get in now, change your life for the better. Get started by going to the website, getmyhealthfix.com. That website again, getmyhealthfix.com.
America's best high school football players are coming to San Antonio. It's the Navy All-American Bowl at the Alamo Dome on Saturday, January 11th. Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, and Jeremiah Smith played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the stars of tomorrow at the Navy All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero. Fan Zone opens at 9:30 a.m. Tickets on sale at the Dome box office and Ticketmaster.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in San Antonio without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in San Antonio for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. San Antonio is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in San Antonio and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang! It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Let's go! You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Well, we thought it was Matt Eberflus, the big news of the day, until the Ravens said, hold my beer. John Harbaugh fired after 18 years as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. Hi, everybody. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinigle. He's Jason Minix. And, boy, just kind of one of those things you go, well, I'm not overly surprised, but still kind of surprised.
It's one of those, even with the rumbling, same thing with Mike Tomlin.
Yep.
You hear it. They've been there so long. It's like when Bill Belichick finally left New England. There is just a level of surprise. Nick Saban leaving Alabama. Somebody's been there so long, they're like the wallpaper, right? Like that person's never going to get fired or leave, right? And in this case, fired. It's not even the mutually agreed to part ways. It's
You're fired.
Like you didn't make the playoffs, you're fired.
You know,
it's the damn kicker.
Well, is it? I mean, there's some people on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page bringing something up. Ed, I'll throw it out there. Is it Lamar Jackson who wanted Harbaugh gone?
It's possible.
I wonder.
And who knows what the inner workings are? Although they've given him a lot of money and they've made it work for a long time. And was it a week ago when a longtime beat writer in Baltimore wrote just an awful article about Lamar? Harbaugh came to his defense.
He did. I remember that.
In a big time way. But at the same time, a longtime beat writer has that story because somebody told him that. That wasn't just some schmuck guy that you go, who's this and what kind of credibility? So there's got to be an element of truth from that reporter, otherwise that reporter doesn't write it. But the way Harbaugh defended it, I thought was, all right, their relationship isn't as bad as it seems. But financially, the contract that he has makes it very difficult for Baltimore moving forward. What are they going to do? And then you look at a guy like Harbaugh becomes available. Right? So yesterday was Black Monday. Today is Surprise Tuesday. Holy cow. Right? And a buddy of mine that's a fan of the Command Skins just texted, fire DQ, get me Harbaugh. And I think there's probably a lot of organizations out there that would say
the same.
Yeah. I mean, I like my guy, but give me that guy. It's bizarre. This guy could have a job by the end of the week if he wants one. But the other part, he has been there for so long. This isn't Belichick going to North Carolina, but it would be so different. You know, Pete Carroll was so in tune with everything in Seattle for so long, and it was a disaster in Las Vegas. And I don't know anybody out there, including me, that would think that Harbaugh would go somewhere and have a disaster like what Pete Carroll got in Las Vegas.
Interesting that there's a guy by the name of Connor Hughes, NFL reporter for SNY TV, says the Giants have already reached out to Harbaugh, and he's coming in for an interview.
Well, of course he is.
So I guess Harbaugh wants to coach next season. That kind of tells me that, unless he's just going to see what it is. But look, that New York Giants job is huge. People don't understand what a big job that is. And if you can turn the Giants around and make them a winner again, I mean, my goodness. So Harbaugh apparently already going for an interview with the New York Football Giants.
Hang on, let me check something real quick. Let's see. The alert came in at 4:15. So in 30 minutes,
30 minutes.
The dude's already got an interview and a plane booked.
And I bet, and maybe they have to go through the motions, they might offer him the job as soon as he gets there.
I mean, do you even get on the plane without the offer?
That's an interesting thing.
Now, the other part, even though there's tampering and stuff, you know, is Harbaugh has hit the portal. You almost wonder if that's one of the reasons why. You know, if he gets a job that quickly, this almost feels like I'm going to leave Utah. I've been here a long time. I'm going to leave Utah. Oh, Michigan called, huh? All right, I'm a Michigan man now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It could be. It could be. Now, the Giants, I don't know.
Hang on. John Robbins says that reporter's a fake account.
Is that what he said? He wants it to be a fake account.
That's what John Robbins said.
Yeah, he wants it to be a fake account. We'll see.
Either way, that wouldn't surprise me because the Giants have one of the better openings
Well, absolutely. That's a huge job. I mean, it really is. And we'll look, if it is a fake, then we'll find out. But that, what was his name? Kleiman is the guy that retweeted that. And I know you're not a fan of his necessarily.
Well, that's not a real person.
It's not.
No.
He's just an aggregator.
Oh. Huh. An aggregator. Define that, Pledge.
Somebody that aggravates everybody with retweeting fake stuff. It's kind of like that dude with what's his name with the Giants that was watching porn in the meeting. That wasn't true, but it went wild.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Connor Hughes is not real either. What's that guy, Connor Stallion?
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe they're related.
I think Ed is real. Ed, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, what's going on, buddy? You called us. Yes, sir.
You know, it's crazy to think if Baltimore makes that field goal, maybe Harbaugh still has a job at least for this week, and Tomlin could have been fired. Although the Steelers never have been really known as a franchise that fires their coaches. But back to the John Harbaugh thing, when a coach has been in one place for so long, it's not always a bad thing for the coach and the team to part ways. And I'll give you a good example. Andy Reid had a lot of good years in Philadelphia. Been to 5 conference championship games, 1 Super Bowl, and his last year there, things just fell apart, so the Eagles sent him on his way. Well, let's look at, since that happened, Chiefs have been to 5 Super Bowls, winning 3, including one against the Eagles, and the Eagles have been to 3 Super Bowls and won 2, including one against the Chiefs. So it can work out both ways. It might not be a bad thing.
Yeah, you're right. And again, you look at, I think the surprise with Harbaugh is kind of like in Pittsburgh. Ownership group doesn't have the reputation of moving on. And both have won Super Bowls. You could go back and look at Mike McCarthy in Green Bay. Same kind of thing. Won a Super Bowl, but at some point you move on. You know, Jason Garrett never won a damn thing, but 10 years. And it's funny because we all get upset at these organizations, and pick your sport, that you move on from coaches too quickly. And then you get coaches that stick around for too long. Because you could say with Harbaugh or with a Tomlin, yeah, that was nice then, but what have you done lately? And you know, it is weird in this world that we live in, especially today, this microwave society, that we want instant results. And as a Dallas Cowboy fan, not in the playoffs pisses me off. Not in the playoffs 2 years in a row pisses me off. I like the Brian Schottenheimer hire, but I look at Jacksonville. They've got a first-year head coach, and they got a chance to go win a Super Bowl this year. I look at Chicago. They got a first-year head coach, and
they've got a shot.
Well, they're in the playoffs at the very least.
Well, they got a shot.
I'm still not completely bought in on the Chicago
either,
Bears, but
they're alive.
But they're alive, and they're in the playoffs under first-year head coaches. So I also wonder if some of these owners in, say, Baltimore are looking around saying, you know, maybe we do need a new voice in here.
Yeah.
And, you know, Ben Johnson was the hottest coach on the circuit last year. And he's proven the Chicago Bears right. Liam Cohen was a surprise hire for a lot of people and then had a goofy press conference. And you go, dude, I haven't thought about a coach getting hired like that for an opening press conference since Adam Gase.
Well, Baker Mayfield loved him.
Yeah, he did. And look at now, granted, Baker Mayfield, a great example. His best year is under Liam Cohen. Now, this year they started strong and then fell off a cliff. I don't know if Baker Mayfield was healthy all year. They dealt with a lot of injuries, but it is a surprise that team isn't in the playoffs. Do you put that all on the OC? Well, I don't know. I look at Detroit. They lost both their coordinators, didn't make the playoffs this year, and they have fired already the guy that replaced Ben Johnson.
Very true, and it was Dan Campbell who took over the play calling duties in the middle of the season, so that guy wasn't getting it done. It's going to be interesting. That's why I think Mike Tomlin could be the next, just simply for the same reason that John Harbaugh's gone from Baltimore. He's been there so long, maybe it's time. Because, look, they could beat Houston. It's possible. You got to play the game, but I don't think they will. And so they're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs again, in my opinion. And again, if you're Pittsburgh, you're looking at Baltimore, what they just did, you might want to do the same thing. Obviously, the Baltimore Ravens are in a much better position if Lamar Jackson is still there and whatever happens with that situation than the Pittsburgh Steelers because they actually have a quarterback. But it's going to be interesting, and Pittsburgh may decide the same thing, that, Mike, we love you. You've done some great things, but we need a new voice in the locker room.
Now, are you ready for this one?
Let's hear it.
Are you ready for this one?
Perhaps. Why not?
Well, you're a Titans fan.
All right.
Adam Schefter just tweeted 1 minute ago.
Uh-huh.
Former Cowboys head coach and NBC analyst Jason Garrett is interviewing Friday for the Titans head coaching job.
That would be so Tennessee Titan. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? That would be that's genius. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's outstanding. and not surprising at all. Not surprising at all. And nothing against Jason Garrett, but no, that's not what they need. But we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me at all if that happened. That's not going to happen, is it?
It's Adam Schefter. That's a real account.
Well, NFL football rumors picked up that same story too. So I'm just saying, if I got fooled, so did they. Just saying. Clint Kubiak is another guy. He's got a lot of requests. He's the OC with the Seahawks. Gary Kubiak's son. Yeah.
So the head coaching openings are the Ravens. Is the Ravens still a good job? Understanding Lamar's contract situation. And is Derrick Henry done? Is he a free agent?
That's a good question. Or is he just done? I mean, the guy, what is he, 32 now?
Well, they didn't use him a lot this year.
Well,
Trust me,
true.
my fantasy team knows that.
And that could be one reason why.
Ravens, Giants, Titans, Falcons, Cardinals, Browns, and Raiders. Those are your openings right now. Do we add Pittsburgh to the list on Tuesday morning?
I think that if they lose to Houston, yes.
He's got 1 year left, Derrick Henry does?
It looks like he's under contract for 26 and 7.
When you look at, I didn't think he signed that long of a deal. Maybe there's no guaranteed money on that one so they can get out of it. But when you look at it, Giants probably have the best job opening. And then I'd probably go Falcons, then Ravens and Raiders.
Well, the Ravens have got to be there. I'd probably put the Ravens. Well, it depends.
Again,
right,
their contract situation.
To me, the Raiders is a good job. You're going to have a brand new quarterback. You've got a running back there. You've got a pretty good edge rusher, unless they trade him away, which those are the rumors. I think that Raiders job is not bad either. So
I would just love to. Actually, I would not love to live in Las Vegas.
No,
I don't think my wallet or liver could handle that. Although if I made NFL head coaching money,
well, you could
the wallet part would be okay. The liver would still be a concern.
You would still be able to spend all of that. I promise you.
You like that chick last night at Landman?
Yes, but she won
at the casino.
Yeah. Absolutely. We are talking head coach openings and firings and all kinds of strange things. John Harbaugh out as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. We'll continue to talk about that. Charean Williams is going to join us at 5:15 to talk about all of this, and especially the firing of one Matt Eberflus today from the Dallas Cowboys. Lots to get into today. You were invited to join us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First of all, I got to talk to you, though, about my good friends at Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing. Great company. Family-owned company, local company, a company that's been in business here since 1983. Think about that for a moment. 1983. That's an incredible thing, and should tell you all you need to know about the reputation of Stevens Roofing. And now they've added solar to their resume, repertoire, whatever you want to say. They're doing solar. If you've been thinking about solar panels, now's the perfect time to get that done. Give Stevens Roofing and Solar a call, 210-785-0994. Let them know what you want to do. Put a plan together with Stevens Roofing and Solar, and they'll get it done for you, and you know it's going to get done, and they'll do it right. If you think you might have a problem with your roof, you want to get it checked out, Stevens Roofing and Solar is the number to call, 210-785-0994. They will send a crew out to your house. They'll check your roof for free, and they'll let you know if there's anything up there that needs attention, and then you know you can trust Stevens Roofing and Solar to get it done and get it done right. Give them a call. You owe it to yourself. 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
10-yard line. Touchdown, Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
This Friday is a Flight Friday with a Blitz live at Bubba's 33 in Alamo Ranch. Kick off the weekend and pregame with us and Flight by Yingling ahead of the Indiana-Oregon semifinal game.
Flight will be on special, and you know they'll have some great prizes to give away, including those cool backpack coolers. So plan now to join the Blitz from 2 to 6, a Flight Friday at Bubba's 33 Alamo Ranch location with Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Pricing coverage match limited by state law.
There's a reason why you own a Kubota. It's because you won't settle for second best. The Kubota L Series has been the #1 best-selling compact tractor in the U.S. for 15 years straight. And the Kubota SVL Series has been the #1 best-selling compact track loader in the U.S. for the last 6 years. Now that's saying something. So don't be fooled by other dealers wanting to trade for your orange. We're Ewald Kubota, keeping it orange for over 75 years.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Kohl's new clearance markdowns are intense. Up to 70% off is the kind of deal that'll leave you feeling stunned and make you whisper things like, "Where have you been my whole life?" to a cardigan. Just take a deep breath, steady your cart, and try to act normal. But it's not possible. The savings are just too good. Shop new clearance markdowns now, in-store and online at Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, "Have a great trip," keep on saying, "You too." And keep driving safely, and you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Breaking news this afternoon, the Baltimore Ravens have fired head coach John Harbaugh after 18 seasons at the helm of the Ravens. Other news today, the Dallas Cowboys have fired defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones released a statement saying in it, quote, after reviewing and discussing the results of our defensive performance this season, it was clear that a change was needed.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you're having a great Tuesday out there, whatever it is you're doing, however you're doing it. If you're getting off work at 5 o'clock, congrats. Tuesday's over. Going to slide right into hump day. That's a good thing. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is here as well. And, boy, a lot of breaking news happening today.
And look, Eberflus gets fired, and somewhere Jerry Jones is madder than hell that we're talking about John Harbaugh. Because he got fired today.
Yes.
Now, everybody with an opening is probably trying to figure out, can they get Harbaugh? I think even teams with a coach. I saw Mike Greeny, the Jets should. Well, yeah, right?
Although Aaron Glenn hasn't been fired yet.
But I mean, the Commanders, the Dolphins could be an interesting spot.
Mm-hmm.
The Buccaneers could be an interesting. I mean, you just look around and, I'm going to go from a different angle here, right? Pledge says the Bengals, right? I think there are a lot of teams out there. Let's go. Every team not in the playoffs right now probably is going, is John Harbaugh available for us?
Absolutely.
And that includes Dallas.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
If you fire a guy, you want to replace the guy with somebody better, right?
Well, you'd like to do that, yeah.
Who the hell is Baltimore going to hire that's better than John Harbaugh?
Well,
I mean, are you making a change for a change's sake?
Yes.
Or is the owner saying, you know what, I can find somebody better than what I currently have?
No, I think it's what we discussed in the last segment. It's a different voice, and I think you need that. And it brings up the question, Lamar Jackson. How were he and Harbaugh getting along? Is Jackson tired of John Harbaugh? What did he have something to do with that? Obviously, that's all speculation, but I think it comes down to a different voice in the locker room. Look, Harbaugh's got a Super Bowl championship. He does have that, but lately, and that's what the world we live in, they've underperformed when they've gotten in the playoffs, and so. Ultimately, that's the head coach's responsibility when it comes right down to it, whether it's his fault or not.
So Kevin Stefanski is apparently interviewing everywhere. Harbaugh will interview everywhere if he chooses to do so. Jason Garrett is apparently going to interview for the Titans job.
You think the Titans called Garrett or Garrett called the Titans? So I need to get my name back out there. Just give me an interview. You don't have to hire me. Just give me an interview.
Well, it's the formula. You get fired, you go on TV, you look smart, you've got a good reputation, and you get another opportunity. That's the way it works. And Garrett's still a good coach. I mean, I know he didn't win anything in Dallas, but in reality, he's still a solid offensive mind. His name was mentioned for some of the college jobs, which makes me also wonder, are some of these big-time college coaches tired of the crap that's going on in college football, saying, you know what, the NFL is going to be a better life? And I know Sark's name has been mentioned a couple of different times, and we've talked about it with various college coaches, including Jeff Traylor. You look at what's going on in the portal right now. And the wild, wild west of the portal right now. I mean, it looked like Texas was going to get that running back from Florida for $4 million, and he stayed at Florida for $1 million because of loyalty. Jeez. Then it was Texas was going to get that number one wide receiver from Auburn. And now it doesn't look like that could be. But because they were going to get that guy, Parker, Arch's roommate, went to OU. What? OU? You can't go to a rival. I mean, it's just bizarre. So should we also look at some of the candidates for these head coaching jobs and or coordinator jobs as some of these big-time college coaches, even though their names aren't in the mix right now and you're not seeing the Adam Schefters of the world tweeting about them? Do you start looking outside the box a little bit and say, you know what, maybe this is the time, because college football is so different, such a headache, that some of these longtime college coaches might actually be looking at the National Football League?
And I wouldn't be surprised if they are. But I tell you what, with the jobs that are open and now the candidates that are out there, and you look at John Harbaugh, obviously, who went to the top of the list, but you got Kevin Stefanski, who is popular now. I just saw that the Arizona Cardinals have asked San Francisco for permission to interview Robert Saleh. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that are in the NFL currently. I'm not sure it would have to be a special. I guess Kurt Cignetti could be a name. I mean, why not? I know he just signed a contract with Indiana, but, you know, if somebody calls Cignetti and says, hey, we'd like to talk to you, why wouldn't you listen?
Well, all these guys would listen. And I know Sark was all pissy about it when it was brought up, but that reporter was Diana Rossini. And Diana Rossini isn't reporting stuff that she isn't hearing.
Absolutely not.
She didn't say, hey, what about a guy like Sark? No, she said she heard.
Yeah.
And she's not reporting that if she didn't actually hear that from somebody with credibility. And with all these openings, some of these owners might say, you know what, I don't need another retread like a Jason Garrett. Let's go get an offensive mind like Sark in. Let's go get some of these guys and give them an opportunity. And if you're a college coach right now, why in the hell would you want to deal with the business side of what college football has turned into?
I don't know.
I mean, when you think about, and I'll use Jeff Traylor as an example because he told this story on the air. You know, his son coaches in the NFL. His son has a far better quality of life with time off than Jeff Traylor does, because the way their calendars are built, you actually have time where you can go on vacation and do stuff. Jeff goes on vacation and spends half the time on the phone.
Absolutely he does. How about Cignetti with the Raiders? If Mendoza's going there.
I mean,
that'd be something.
I mean, they've had a really good year. It's not like they've got this long relationship. It's
No.
not like, but again, I mean, Cignetti is proven. And what people don't know about Kurt Cignetti, Google him. He's a winner. Ask him. But when he was at James Madison, they were always really good football teams with great offenses. But he was at James Madison, and so nobody paid attention. I remember one year when my kid was at Sam Houston State, they played JMU in the playoffs and just got destroyed. You look at a guy like Ben DiNucci, was a quarterback up there. And, you know, there are great coaches at all levels of football that just need to get an opportunity to coach in the spotlight like Cignetti has done, and you can turn a program around to become that guy. He's just doing a little bit later in life than you see a lot of these younger coaches at the lower levels.
I tell you what, I don't recall, and I could be wrong, this many openings in the NFL at this point in time before the playoffs have even started. But all of these teams that are out of the playoffs now are making changes. I mean, how many teams are out of the playoffs? What do you got? 18?
Math is hard. Yeah.
So there's a lot.
I mean, look, there's about 25% of the jobs are open.
Yes. Absolutely. And that's what I mean. I don't recall this many openings.
Then you add in all the coordinators.
And then you add in teams that might make a change if they lose in the first round of the playoffs. Pittsburgh Steelers, Buffalo Bills. I mean, it's possible. So it's interesting. I'll tell you what, it's going to be an interesting time. Well, somebody that knows a lot about the NFL and the Dallas Cowboys, he's a perfect guest to have on.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Charean Williams from ProFootballTalk.com Texans.com is going to join us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Pork rinds are the crunch time hero of the snack aisle. Low carb, collagen packed, and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. The porkrinds.com Instagram will make a crunch time donation with each share of the Crunch Time Hero college football post, with each share equaling a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to helping families dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Share on Instagram today and grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe pork rinds at H-E-B.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
America's best high school football players are coming to San Antonio. It's the Navy All-American Bowl at the Alamo Dome on Saturday, January 11th. Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, and Jeremiah Smith played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the stars of tomorrow at the Navy All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero. Fan Zone opens at 9:30 a.m. Tickets on sale at the Dome box office and Ticketmaster.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Let me ask you a question. Is your roof ready for anything? Well, Stevens Roofing, a locally owned company, has been serving our community for decades. Whether it's a commercial project or residential, or repairing your old roof, or maybe installing a new one, they've got you covered. And now Stevens offers solar. Stevens Solar Solutions can save you money and energy. Stevens Roofing, quality craftsmanship, solar solutions, and local expertise under one roof. Call 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
This year, I'm giving my hair salon a total makeover.
Total makeover sounds totally expensive.
We updated our logo and colors, so I needed to print new signage, brochures, business cards, everything.
Everything will not be cheap.
Staples did it all, and I saved $100 on my order.
$100? Trim my whiskers, that's a good deal. For everything your business needs to print, let's go Staples.
That was easy.
Offer valid in-store and online. Ends 1/31. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a hump day on the Morning Huddle. How did the Spurs look in Memphis? How will they look against the Lakers?
Eberflus is gone. Where's the defensive coordinator coming from? Lots of candidates. We'll go down them all. We're talking Cowboys and college football. Oh, yeah, and the Spurs. Get here early, party such a city.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On one of those afternoons that is news breaking all over the place, we're glad you were here with us for all of it on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix.
And it's a perfect time to talk with Mother Football. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us now. And somewhere I imagine Jerry's upset because we're going to not talk about Matt Eberflus ad nauseum. We're going to talk about John Harbaugh got fired. And again, might have been time. It's still surprising when you see it. Schefter just tweeted within 45 minutes of the announcement, his agent got calls from 7 teams, which means somebody with a coach call too. It's bizarre.
Not surprising that he got that many calls. Obviously, I think he's an upgrade on, the overall coaches who are out there. He has a Super Bowl title and made the playoff 12 of his 18 seasons. Probably should have been 13 of 18, but it didn't work out that way. And, that field goal probably was the difference between Tomlin staying, at least for now, and Harbaugh leaving. So pretty interesting that one kick can make that big of a difference. Now there's still talk that, Tomlin may be headed to Fox after this season. We're going to see how this plays out for him and how far they go. But, yeah, it's, when you're at a place for that long, it's stunning when it finally happens and somebody fires you. And, I just finished putting up his statement and sounded pretty stunned by the news. And make no mistake, this was a firing. It wasn't mutual. It wasn't any of his decision based on all the statements that were put out there by the Ravens and by Harbaugh. This was the decision that the Ravens made to move on from him. So whenever you change coaches, you got to be careful. You got to find an upgrade on the one you have, and that may be difficult to do. Now, look, I don't think he did great coaching jobs over the past few years. He couldn't get past the AFC Championship game where they have won with Lamar Jackson, who's had MVP seasons since he's been in Baltimore, but they couldn't get it in the postseason. So I don't know how good his coaching jobs have been over the last handful of seasons, but I do know that he's better than a lot of coaches out there, and he's a coach that I certainly would want to talk to and probably would want to hire.
Well, and unfortunately for the Dallas Cowboys and everybody else in the NFC East, that new team could be the New York Giants. And that could be good. I saw somewhere, Charean, and I don't know if you know this or not, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but part of the firing of Harbaugh today was that he wouldn't fire his offensive coordinator. Have you seen anything or heard anything about that?
No, but, sometimes it comes down to things like that. And when you're a coach, and you want your assistants, you want to be able to hire and fire your own assistants. You don't want to be told what to do. And I think John Harbaugh is owed that for 18 seasons and what he's done. He's owed to be allowed to pick his coaching staff. And whoever that is, whether he wants to keep somebody or move on from somebody, that should be his choice and nobody else's choice. So, there could be some validity to that. I don't know that we'll ever know the whole story. I don't know that we ever know the whole stories of a lot of these decisions that are made, but the Ravens made the decision for whatever reasons. And now they're looking for the next head coach. And I guess the question I would ask is, who do you hire? Again, I think it's good that they both get a new start. I think it was probably needed. But who are you going to find who is better than what you had? I know I would make some calls to some college coaches. I do know that. But they got to figure out who they're going to hire that's better than what John Harbaugh was and give them a chance to win. It's now suddenly, I think, probably the best job out there. If you're one of the top candidates, I think where you want to go.
It's going to be interesting. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us here on the Blitz, and it's funny you mentioned college coaches. A buddy of mine that is a Ravens fan said, I don't know if he's available, but Curt Cignetti would be on the top of my list. And again, it's been several weeks, but when Sark's name was mentioned for some NFL jobs, and I know the way Sark reacted, but in the world of college football right now, I would not be surprised to see some of the top college coaches jumping for the NFL just for the better quality of life.
Yes, it's much better. It's a much easier job. Not that it's easy. You paid a lot of money either way you go, but you don't have NIL. You don't have the portal. You don't have to worry about a lot of those things that you have to worry about in college. You don't have to worry about kids going to class or not going to class, although I don't know if that's as big a concern as it used to be. But there are bigger concerns, I think, in college than in the NFL that you have to worry about. And I just think the NFL right now is a much easier job, making the same or more money. These owners are willing to pay. Not a lot of them do pay. I think college coaches overall are better paid than NFL coaches, but they also do more work. And I think NFL coaches should be willing to pay more money. They're billionaires. So if you want a really good head coach, and I think here's the other thing. I think it's much easier today to go from college to pros than it used to be. We used to say, Nick Saban flamed out and so flamed out, and these guys couldn't get it done aside from Jimmy Johnson, and if you want to include Barry Switzer for what he did with Jimmy Johnson's team. But there weren't a ton of them who crossed over that were successful, and then Pete Carroll did it. And, but I think it's easier now than what it once was. And if I'm looking for a head coach, especially the Ravens, and I want an upgrade on John Harbaugh, I'm making the calls to Cignetti. I'm making the calls to Sark. I'm making the calls to Kirby Smart. At least have them tell me no, that they're not interested in the job.
Boy, that's interesting. And I don't know about you, Charean, but I can't remember this many job openings at this time of the year in the NFL in a very long time. Can you?
It seems about the same to me. I don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers. And I don't know that we're done either. Again, I think you watch Pittsburgh. I think you still watch Tampa. I'm not sure Tampa's certain. I'm not sure Miami's for certain. I think there still could be a change at all those places, so we still could have more. I will say this. Before, like a week ago, I would have told you that I thought there were going to be far less than we usually have, and it hasn't worked out like that at all. I think this is going to be on par or maybe a little bit more than what we've had in recent seasons. But it's an interesting question. I'll have to go back and look exactly how many we had last year and the year before and the year before that. But, these owners now have a quick trigger. They expect, and they should. I mean, you look at what some of these guys who've come in, Mike Vrabel came in, Liam Cohen came in, and Ben Johnson came in, and all of a sudden they're winning. They're going to the postseason. They're favored. Mike McDonald hasn't been there long, so the turnarounds can be very quick. And so you're not going to get very many years. That's just reality. You got to show that you can get to the postseason. You got to show you can be successful in the postseason, and you're not going to get very many years to do that.
Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. One of those first-year head coaches that didn't make the playoffs is Brian Schottenheimer. Offensively, they were good. Defensively, they were awful. And today, Eberflus gets fired as defensive coordinator. honestly, I don't know if I'm surprised or not. I don't want to celebrate anybody losing their job, but I think Jerry made the right decision. I'm just surprised Jerry made the right decision and did it so quickly because the defense was that bad this year.
Completely agree with you, because he doesn't like buying out contracts, which is what he did in this situation. Mike Nolan, we talked about, was the last one that he's done that's bought out a contract, and now we're going to see if he will actually pay to get a good defensive coordinator. You're going to go get a Jim Schwartz or Brian Flores or some of these guys with name recognition who are really good at what they do, have proven at what they do, or are you just going to settle for somebody that you don't have to pay a lot of money to? And we see Jerry do that far too often. But I like that they made the decision quickly. It needed to be made. And they'll go get a different defensive coordinator. The problem, again, is how many defensive coordinators they've had year after year after year since Dan Quinn left. They are changing defensive coordinators, and it's hard to match the personnel to the scheme in 1 year. And that's what they tried to do every single. There was some frustration, I will tell you. Eberflus came in and told them that he planned to play a lot of man defense. They didn't. We all know that. They played a lot of zone. And there was frustration within the organization that they played too much zone defense with the players that they had. And that's what they drafted for. Ravel is a man corner. And that's why they drafted him, because he fit what Eberflus told them that he was going to do, and he didn't do it. So a lot of frustration with that. They talked about how good Quinn was. Quinn came in, and Quinn told them exactly what he wanted. This is what I want to fit my scheme. And they went out and got those players. And they said he was the absolute best at it. And that's what they want. They want somebody to come in and tell them, these players I want. This is the kind of player I want. This is who I want. And since Dan Quinn, they just haven't had a defensive coordinator who's done that. That's one thing I think they'll look for, is somebody who knows exactly what he wants, the type of players he wants to fit his scheme. And frankly, part of it is going to be fitting the scheme around the personnel that you have. If they keep all three defensive tackles, highly paid defensive tackles, you're going to have to figure out how to get those three guys on the field.
Well, it's going to be interesting, but I've got to ask you, Charean, was Eberflus a Jerry hire and not a Brian Schottenheimer hire? And if that's the case, will they allow Schotty to have some input in who he wants next?
Yes, I think it was. And I do think that Schottenheimer will have a bigger say. I'm not saying he'll have total say. I think he will have a bigger say, because we all know with Jerry, it comes down to money oftentimes. So it might not be completely his say, but I do think he will have some say in who they hire as defensive coordinator this time around.
When you think about potential candidates, and I know you mentioned Brian Flores and you mentioned a couple of the bigger name guys that are probably going to command more money, and I always go back, Jerry likes guys that he is familiar with, he has relationships with. And I look at a guy that just got fired in Las Vegas and Pete Carroll. The relationship that Schottenheimer has with Pete Carroll, could he be a guy that could ultimately be a candidate, thinking outside the box and knowing what Jerry tends to do?
I would be shocked if that were to happen, but stranger things have happened. I mean, the Raiders are going to pay him, so I'm going to be surprised if that happens. I don't expect it to be him.
Would a Jeff Ulbrich or even an Aaron Whitecotton be a potential?
Again, those are big names. They're going to command money, both of them. I think those are very good names. Ulbrich or Schwartz would be my choice. I think Schwartz, my guess is he's going to follow Stefanski wherever Stefanski goes. That's my guess. But, any of those guys that you mentioned, the four you mentioned, I think would be great. I think it would be awesome with the Cowboys. Are they going to commit the money, pay the money that it's going to take to get that done? That's the real question.
Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us here on the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. The end-of-season press conference tomorrow with Jerry and Schotty. And I guess Stephen will be on the podium too. He'll get in 3 words. A lot. I imagine a lot of the talk is going to be about the defensive coordinator position. How much accountability do you expect to hear from Jerry, not only about the Eberflus hire, but also the personnel that were out there? In other words, do you expect to hear a lot of Micah Parsons' excuses?
Oh, no, I wouldn't expect him to use Micah as an excuse. Yeah, they didn't do, let's make this real clear. They didn't do everything I said about Eberflus. They didn't do him any favors.
True.
Like, we expected to have Micah Parsons, and a week before the season starts, you're telling him, hey, guess what? We're trading your best defensive player. You've got no pass rushers, but go ahead and make do with that. This was not all his fault. It's 100% not all his fault. And in fact, it may just be 50% his fault, and I would probably put 50% of the blame on Jerry Jones for doing what he did and pulling the plug on the best pass rusher on the team, and it very well may work out for the Cowboys long term. But you can't expect a defensive coordinator who's come in, who's brand new, who expected to have a great pass rusher in the NFL to suddenly be told a week before the season starts that, hey, you're not going to have him. Make do with what you have. It doesn't work that way, and that's probably part of the reason, frankly, that he played a lot of his own defense is because he didn't have the pass rush to get to the quarterback. I mean, there's no question about that. So, yeah, this was not all Eberflus's fault. We all know that. I don't expect them to blame. They'll say it was a great trade, and they're going to get 7 or 8 players out of it. We all know they're not getting 7 or 8 players out of this trade. There's no possible way. But that's what they'll say. I would almost bet on that. Put that on your bingo card and go ahead and exit off.
Yep.
Must-see TV tomorrow for sure. I've got to ask you, Charean, Jason Garrett's name has come up with the Tennessee Titans. They're going to interview him. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, frankly, yes, it does. I think he's happy in what he does, but all those coaches want to remain coaches. You know, that's what they do. That's their number one deal. That's their day job. So they want to keep coaching. But, yeah, I don't know what Jason has done. He hasn't been in the NFL recently that makes you say, you know, we need to go interview this guy and we think he's going to be a potential head coaching candidate. I don't believe that.
You get on TV and you get smart again, and somebody watches you.
Yeah.
Now, I look at this. I'm curious because I see that and I kind of chuckle. And I like, as a dude, I like Jason Garrett. Good guy. Way too long as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. What is his reputation in the NFL circles? Is he still considered an I mean, forget what fans are saying, especially Cowboy fans, and what you might see on Twitter, but in the NFL circles, does Jason Garrett still carry that kind of influence? I'm guessing, you know, while he's on NBC, are GMs and coaches and owners reaching out to him to get his input on things like you hear stories about somebody calling a Bill Parcells to get input or somebody, a Bill Belichick, somebody like that. Does Garrett have that kind of reputation that most of us are unaware of?
I would say no on that. Now, he may have some guys he's close to, some friends who call him up and maybe run something by him. But for the most part, I would say no, Jason Garrett does not have that pull. I mean, he didn't, you know, he's not a Bill Belichick. He's not a guy who won Super Bowls with Bill Parcells, not a Hall of Fame coach. So I wouldn't think that he would have that kind of pull that you're talking about, no. It's surprising. I mean, there's no question. I mean, I think Jason would probably tell you it's surprising.
Well, I find it surprising, too, and we're going to see what happens when it comes to Jason Garrett. And I don't know about you, Charean, but I love days like this. I don't want to see anybody fired, but in our business, I love days like this.
I do, too. It's exciting. There's a lot of stuff going on, and yeah, it's certainly not dull. You know, it's funny because people are, well, what do you do in the off season? Well, you just point to today. It sort of started the off season, and here we are. It's one of the busiest days of the year.
Sometimes the off season's better than the season because everybody listening right now is a better GM than the guy with that placard on his door.
Absolutely.
That's the truth.
Absolutely.
Aren't we all?
Yes.
The great Charean Williams. Make sure you follow her on Twitter at NFL Charean. Read her at Pro Football Talk. She's been busy. Go click on all that content because content is key. Charean, appreciate it. Glad to have you back on a regular basis. We'll talk again next week.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Charean Williams on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
Always interesting stuff with Charean Williams. That is for sure. Got some news on Victor Wembanyama.
Mm-hmm.
Is he on the floor tonight or is he not? We'll talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, so let me brag a little bit. about my Kinetico quality water softener. I love this thing. And if you listen to the show at any point in time, you know that I love this thing. It has made such a difference in my house and just the way that I feel about everything, whether it's a shower, whether it's the dishes out of the dishwasher, my clothes out of the washing machine. All of it is so much better since I've had my Kinetico quality water softener, and you should really think about getting yourself one as well. It really is a treat for yourself, but it's a good investment for your family because it protects all of those appliances that I just talked about. And this thing is incredible. It does not run on electricity. It runs on that kinetic energy. I'm not really sure what that is, but I know it provides soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And boy, they've got that reverse osmosis drinking station that they will give you for free and install right there at your kitchen sink when you purchase a Kinetico quality water softener. You're going to love that. It's like having bottled water right there at your kitchen sink. And they're going to give you 0% interest for 12 months. Free money for 12 months. It is incredible. Give them a call. Kinetico of San Antonio in the Hill Country, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at KineticoSA.com. And you know the jingle. Sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Kinetico.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
This right here, this is a call to the ones who don't back down. To the risk takers who defied the warnings. To the ones who lost sleep in pursuit of a dream. To all the nut jobs who mortgaged the house and the crazies who bet the farm to start up a business. We want to be your next partner. Because no matter how far you've come or how much you've grown, there's always the next chapter, the next level. And now, there's the next rodeo. The Next Rodeo is a creative partner that brings world-class thinking to companies with grit, heart, and hustle. Companies just like yours. The Next Rodeo. The difference between the business you have and the business you want is one great idea. Get the full story at thenextrodeo.com.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in San Antonio without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in San Antonio for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. San Antonio is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in San Antonio and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Thanks for stopping by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This is The Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix. The Spurs in Memphis tonight to take on the Grizz. First game of a back-to-back, Jason. They've come home right after tonight's game in Memphis to take on the Lakers tomorrow night.
The big news there, though, Vic is in. Wemby is playing tonight, will come off the bench on a minute restriction. Now, I saw a Jeff McDonald tweet earlier that said this kind of injury doesn't require rest. Once you're cleared, you're cleared. So the idea that he plays tonight does not mean automatically that he's going to get tomorrow night off, because it's the second night of a back-to-back with the Lakers coming into the Frost Bank Center tomorrow night, 8:30 on ESPN. So that's good news. Now, we got our injury update coming up, and so we'll ask Dr. David Espinosa about it, because I was thinking the same thing like many of you. Well, is he going to play in both games? No. Part of it is injury, and part of it is the Spurs way. But I am not surprised that he's playing tonight, because otherwise he wouldn't have got on a plane to go out there for one game, unless it truly was you went on through the 5-on-5. Let's see how you feel. Go through shoot-around today, see how you feel, and we'll make a game-time decision. But I got to believe that the plan was for him to play, or he wouldn't have flown out there.
Or at least the hope of that, for sure. And he's going to play. Coming off the bench. Now, Wemby's coming off the bench for quite a few games now, and the Spurs have been successful with that. I'm not suggesting that we relegate Wemby to the bench forever, because the guy is who he is. But, I mean, it's working right now.
This is going to be a debate. Now, when you were in Mexico last week,
yes,
there were a lot of people that called this show talking about just that this Spurs team seems to play better with Wemby coming off the bench. Now, granted, it's like the old Manu days. It doesn't matter who starts the game. It matters who finishes the game, and Wemby was on the floor in the fourth quarter when it mattered. But there is something about the way this team flows when Wemby isn't in the starting lineup. You look at a guy like a De'Aaron Fox or a Steph Castle, the ability to get into a rhythm early because Wemby isn't there. When Wemby is there, he is option 1, 2, 7, and 8, right?
Sure.
I mean, he's the guy, and he should be. But the flow of this basketball team, especially in first quarters, and they've struggled in the first quarter since he's come back, does seem that they get into a better rhythm. He comes off the bench. That second unit is better with, I don't know. I mean, how do you say one of the best players in the NBA is better off the bench and not as a starter? But this team, at least right now, seems to play better with him coming off the bench.
Boy, it's going to be interesting to see what Mitch Johnson does moving forward, and how long you keep Wemby on the bench or coming off the bench, and a minutes restriction. He's been on that for quite a bit. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, maybe they're just managing his time with all the scientific guys, the analytics that they have.
Sports science guys.
Yes, those guys. And maybe that's better for him. And maybe when you get to March and April, when those games really matter, and you get into the playoffs, Wemby's going to be fresh and ready to go. I don't know, but it seems weird when you have a guy that most people say is the best, certainly one of the best in the NBA, coming off the bench the way that he is. And again, you mentioned Manu Ginobili, and he was considered one of the best as well, and he thrived off the bench.
Manu would have been a starter on every other team. And quite frankly, his ego allowed him to come off the bench, allowed Pop to bring him off the bench. A lot of NBA guys aren't that way. But at the same time, while they're managing minutes, and that's one of the reasons Mitch Johnson talked about bringing him off the bench so he's available in the fourth quarter and not spending a lot of minutes in the first quarter. When he first came back from the injury, he didn't play at all in the first quarter. Basically make it a three-quarter game for Wemby to manage the minutes. But if the Spurs are playing better that way, and you do that now to make sure he's rested and fully healthy in the playoffs, do you change up what you've been doing that's been successful once the playoffs get there? Because, again, they seem to be, at least right now, when he came back from the injury around the cup time, better in December off the bench. Back to the starting lineup, and he's been, they've been clunky in the first quarter. And tonight he's going to come off the bench, and if they play well, that argument is going to continue to be there.
Without a doubt. And can you imagine the nightmare scenario that presents for the opposing coach? I mean, think about that.
Yes.
That's a nightmare scenario.
Now, coming off of that hyperextended knee, let's talk about it. Time for our injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at tsaog.com. Let's welcome in on the Buyers Barricades guest line Dr. David Espinosa. And, Doc, before we get into what exactly the hyperextended knee means, I saw a tweet earlier from Jeff McDonald from the San Antonio Express-News that said he had heard this type of injury isn't one that requires rest, because a lot of us were wondering, with a back-to-back, if he plays tonight, which he will, would that mean he's going to rest tomorrow night against the Lakers? But what Jeff McDonald tweeted is once you're cleared, you're cleared to go. Why is a hyperextended knee different than some of the other injuries where a guy will come back but not play in back-to-backs?
Hey there, fellas. Thanks for having me, and Happy New Year. And, yeah, the hyperextension injury, that term is a fairly umbrella-type term. So what they're just referring to is when a player kind of lands on their knee when it's straight, and it'll kind of extend beyond its normal range. And sometimes this type of injury can actually lead to ligamentous damage, cartilage damage, meniscal damage, which sometimes can require surgeries and things like that. But when they got that MRI and it shows that everything looks clear from an anatomic standpoint, meaning that ligaments look good, cartilage looks good, meniscus looks good, then as long as the player is feeling up to it, feeling that the pain is minimal, then they can kind of ease back into activity as it allows.
Well, Doc, when you hyperextend something like Wemby did, is there a lot of pain associated with that will last for several days?
That also depends, on the degree of the extension, because sometimes even the bones can knock against each other, and that could lead to some pain. But there are times where you hyperextend, and then it just nothing happens. And so they get that MRI to make sure everything looks good and that they're not going to make anything worse. And once that looks pretty good and they're able to kind of get through practice and agilities and feeling, up to speed, then they should be cleared to go.
So cleared tonight. And so for tomorrow night's game, basically what I'm hearing you say, it's pain tolerance. If he feels good and like he can go out there and be Wemby, he will go out there. But he'll be probably listed as questionable for tomorrow against the Lakers. And if he plays, it's basically going to be based on how he's feeling after tonight?
Likely, and if there's any type of discomfort, maybe they have him on some minutes or a minute count or something like that, and then kind of ease him back just because of the proximity of the games and the injury. But yeah, pretty much as he allows, I imagine.
All right, Doc, I got to ask you about another Spur, Devin Vassell, not playing tonight. He's got a abductor strain. First of all, you can tell us what that is, and how serious is an injury like that?
Right, so the adductor is in reference to one of the muscles on the inner part of the thigh. And so these muscles, they'll extend all the way up into the groin. And so depending on where that damage is and the degree of that damage really kind of dictates, time frame as far as what we're looking at. If it's mostly muscle, well, muscle has great blood supply, and so sometimes those heal faster as opposed to a tendon, right? So if it was that tendon injury, well, the muscle kind of turns into tendon, and that tendon attaches to the bone. And so if you've heard of sports hernias and things like that, so if there's damage to that tendon insertion where the bone is, then you kind of start going down that path of sports hernia, and those are usually longer-term recovery periods. But when they kind of just say adductor, well, that kind of leaves it up to interpretation, but it sounds like it might be more of the muscle, so hopefully it's a quicker turnaround for him.
Dr. David Espinosa, you've got to help us out here because we're idiots. And I'm sure there's other people saying, wait, what? Because you just kind of talked about thigh. As soon as you said that, Reinagel was like pointing to his gut.
Yeah, I was thinking it was his stomach.
That's abductor, right? AB? No?
So abductor, so that one regarding the hip is usually on the outer part of the hip. So if you were to kind of like bang the outside part of your hip against the table, that's your abductor. Then your adductor is more towards the inner portion.
So Reinagel thinking it was something to do with his stomach is just because he's not very smart?
Not at all.
Well, that's the thing. There's we use those terms actually throughout the body. So in reference to the body part, that's usually where.
I was thinking abdominal.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, they're
all
the same.
Abdominal.
Doctor, it sounds similar.
Yeah, why are they
with
so close
abdominal,
together, Doc?
yes. Abdominal gut, absolutely, 100%.
How many years in medical school are you spending on words and taking quizzes on definitions?
It's a whole new language. You're learning a new language when you go that way.
I would imagine so. That's crazy. I mean, those things are so close together. I was like, okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, whatever.
Now, NFL seasons, we're heading to the playoffs, but there's so many, I don't know, I don't want to say bizarre injuries, but bizarre injuries. Alexander Madison, with a neck injury, had to have emergency surgery for a fractured neck.
Oh.
But I don't know if he knew it was. It's not like you saw him and he broke his neck. That would require emergency surgery. You see somebody in a car wreck and, oh, yeah, the neck. And there you go. What could be going on where they're like, yeah, you know what? We got to go to the operating room right now.
Yeah, so there's also very broad terminology using the neck because you have a bunch of small bones in the vertebrae that form the building blocks of the neck. So it's kind of like this column. In that you have, again, your vertebrae, your pedicles, and different things. Well, the important part is the nerves that kind of come out from the spinal cord, right? And so if there's a fracture that is leading to instability of the bony structure of the neck that can then compromise spinal cord, spinal nerve roots, then that becomes much more of an issue where it's like, yeah, we got to get it in there sooner rather than later and get it fixed.
But I can still tell people I had a broken neck, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Emergency surgery on my broken neck. I'm tough. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, put that on the resume.
Just don't hold your belly and say your adductor hurts.
Exactly.
Wrong part. Dr. David Espinosa, always appreciate the knowledge and insight. Appreciate it, my friend. Our injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. All our guests on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at BuyersBarricades.com. So this is the same injury Vassell's dealing with that Steph Castle dealt with about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Wow.
He'll be fine.
Better work on their abductors.
Not abs.
Abductors.
That's ads.
Or adductors.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They need to hire that physical therapist from Landman.
They damn sure do, don't they?
I
told you you'd like that. Uh-huh. I told you. That was, you'd enjoy that part. Pledge, you got a show? Look at Pledge has got a show tonight. He's actually going to work tonight.
And make sure you're watching Pledge on YouTube because he's all cowboyed up today.
How about that?
Go Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys? Join James Pledger. Of course, get up with the fellas in the morning. The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. They'll get you started at 6 o'clock. Minix and I will have Jerry Jones stuff and what he's going to say when we start at 2 o'clock. Until then, everybody, have a great night.
Stop it.
Writing